Good afternoon. What a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here at Grand Bend Speedway. Chris Orrs, John Helton joining me shortly here. And welcome. Thanks for joining us. What a beautiful day. Getting set for our first set of action on the track. It's our junior sprint class. Heat racing, 8 laps the scheduled distance. And we once again thank Action Trailers for jumping on board for this afternoon for the 3rd annual Brad Clarke Memorial. On the track, we have the 85. That's Ryan Clarke from Strathroy. Bryson Fuller out of London driving that 98. 13, Camlin Bright from Petrolia. 39, that's Watford, Ontario's Landon Moore. And the 10X, Maxon Desat from Chatham. Really good car count in this division. 13 entered this afternoon, and 8 laps of scheduled distance for our opening race of the afternoon, the junior sprint class, heat race number 1.
Today's racing sponsored by Action Trailers, and definitely an exciting one, you know, as we're heading into the later part of the year here. The junior sprints coming down the front straightaway. Let's set them loose.
Green flag, and Clarke will take the initial advantage here into turn number 1. The front 3 trying to get away early. Fuller there in the 98. Here comes Moore to the inside. Fuller will grab the 2nd spot. Desat will make a pass at the back of the field up for 4th. But it is the 85 of Ryan Clarke out of Strathroy with the leads. Had a pretty good 2025. Landon Moore in that 39 out of Watford trying to track that 85 down. Desat making some progress in that 4th position, trying to reel in that 98 of Fuller. Lots on the docket this afternoon, race fans, including a very special intermission hosted by Action Trailers. I think the entire staff's participating in a pro kart race. Welcome those this afternoon watching the program on Checkered Flag Media. We welcome you. Thank you for joining us.
The junior sprints are, of course, our entry-level division here at the track. It's the kids program, and fun to get started with them this afternoon here under sunny skies at the Brad Clarke Memorial.
Desat making a pass to the inside of Fuller, so Maxon doing a good job starting in the 5th spot up to 3rd now. Ryan Clarke still your leader in that 85, followed by Moore in the 39, and now Desat in that 10X.
So your leader working the back straightaway. That's the 85 of Ryan Clarke going into turn 3, left-hand side of your racetrack. And the laps ticking away here. Our first qualifying heat race of the afternoon. Again, glad to have you folks joining us. We've got lots of competition on the docket today for the Brad Clarke Memorial presented by Action Trailers as the white flag flies into the final lap here. 85, Ryan Clarke making his way down the back stretch. Through 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. It'll be checkered flag in the air for the 85, Ryan Clarke. 39, Landon Moore to Watford, good for 2nd. And so a great start there for our junior sprinters. First of 2 qualifying heat races. We see the junior sprints out a few times tonight because we have them out, of course, for the qualifying heats. We have a little B main that we run later on that gets the drivers just a little bit more seat time. And then, of course, the main event later on for those junior sprinters, the kids program here at Grand Bend Speedway.
Yeah, special thanks to Pinedale Motor Inn for jumping on board and sponsoring this division in 2025. Also crowning a couple of champions this afternoon, John, in the Cobra Cup NASCAR Hot Rod division, also our Cobra Cup NASCAR Super Stock division. Race fans will be crowning 2 champions this afternoon for 2025. Here comes the field for heat race number 2. Let's meet our drivers. The 90, that's Paisley Lamont from London. The 6X, the second in line there. That's Maxwell Lloyd from London. The white number 10, Tyson Fusil from London, and that orange number 9 is Ethan Lloyd, also out of London. 8 laps of scheduled distance here. Hey, for the first time in a long time, John, they're going to have, I think, 3 heats for the junior sprints, a 13-car count this afternoon, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really, this is one of Grand Bend Speedway's signature programs. You know, historically, the track has been a development track. That's been changing quite a bit with the introduction of the late model and bone stock programs here. But with one of these being, this is one of the classic divisions, certainly at Grand Bend Speedway. And so when we think of, you know, the Brad Clarke Memorial and the kinds of things that Brad Clarke was building out here at the track, that included these junior sprint cars. And later when we see the mini trucks as well, one of his signature classes, those 9-horsepower sprinters. So the scale racing program really was the heart, because Brad had such a heart certainly for driver development here in the region. And we see that still that legacy continue to live on the track. As the green flag flies, we're underway. Payson Lamont in the 90 takes us to that green flag, but it's a 6X of Maxwell Lloyd in that black sprint that makes his way right to the front. Oh, everybody's getting all kinds of sideways. Tyson Fusil in the 10 up to second place in a hurry.
Yeah, Ethan Lloyd got a great start, but got really tight in turn 2, allowing Tyson to pass a couple of cars, and immediately falls in tow to the 6X of Lloyd. So Maxwell Lloyd, your leader, Tyson Fusil in that 10, then it's Ethan Lloyd and Lamont rounding out the order right now in heat race number 2 for the Pinedale Motor Inn Junior Sprints.
And, you know, for the folks watching from home, one of the things that's probably not coming across, certainly on the feed, is it's actually a little bit windy out there today, which for these junior sprinters, they're small in scale, but they do have those cosmetic wings on the top, and that might be making them feel a little bit dodgy, especially as they come out of turn 2 there. You can see the direction the flags are waving, and it would, I think it, Chris, you've asked me before, you know, do the wings do anything on these cars? Usually not, but I think if the wind caught it at just the right angle, it could be enough to upset one of these carts.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe not through turns 1 and 2 because the wind's kind of blowing from our vantage point right to left across turns 1 and 2. It's when they come through turns 3 and 4, they're going right into the crosswind here.
Check out this battle coming off the 4th turn, left side of the raceway. We've got the battle for 3rd and 4th with the 9 of Ethan Lloyd and the 90 of Payson Lamont. Definitely the best battle on the racetrack right now, as those two have found each other here. As the lap's winding down, 2 laps to go as we keep an eye here off the, oh, contact over there. Sends those drivers for a loop.
Yeah, Payson saw the opening, John, inside on the driver's side of Ethan's number 9, and I don't think Ethan knew that Payson was there. Came down right on the nose of the 90.
Well, let's see what we've got on the old replay here. Well, we'll try again here on that replay. Let's try and see one more time what we've got on that replay. Here comes the replay. As we watch them, oh, the replay was a little delayed on that there. That's my mistake. We tried something new tonight. The announcer is running the replay button. And the announcer is not quick enough on the trigger, it turns out, to get the replay working. We'll try that again later on. But
yeah, just one-way radios, as you know, John, if you documented quite often, one-way radios from the tower. Race control to the drivers, so no spotter radios for these drivers. Ethan left the spot open, as mentioned, for Payson coming out through 4, and I just don't think he knew that Payson was at least half a car length inside in turn 4.
And so getting these drivers lined back up here in a hurry. You know, we saw certainly that battle at the back of the pack, but action was heating up at the front as well. The 10 of Tyson Fusil was looking hungry today. He was running in second at the time of caution. The black 6X of Maxwell Lloyd was leading the way at the time. But one lap before we get to go green with these junior sprints once again.
Maxwell Lloyd, that 6X will bring him to the line here. Tyson, if you see on the outside, green flag, a dead heat at the line. Lloyd gets a little bit of an advantage now and will grab the lead into turn number 1. Fusil falls in line. Ethan Lloyd drifts up the track almost into the 90. And coming to 2 to go this time.
There's that 2 to go signal, the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd leading our way. Tana Tyson Fusil trying to chase him down. But it is not going to be. Oh, we see for third place, we see the 90 takes the third place spot as the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd takes the win.
Wow, Ethan was so loose in turns 3. I thought he was going to come down on the 90 again, but the 90 had completed the pass. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. Checker flag awaits Maxwell Lloyd. Checker flag, junior sprint class heat race number 2. Fusil second, Lamont, and Ethan Lloyd will finish the running order for heat race number 2.
So a successful start for the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. Currently sits 4th in the junior sprint point standings. It's going to swing on around here for a photo with April Wilson. Photography for the heat race win. Race fans, put your hands together for the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. He's your winner here on Action Trailers Afternoon, the Brad Clarke Memorial. Special thanks to our supporter, MyFM 105.7 Strathroy and 90.5 Exeter. Each day, the teams at MyFM leverage the power of local radio and their local websites to help make a difference in our communities. Find them online at exetertoday.ca and strathroytoday.ca for local community news, events, and contests. You'll find them on the radio dial at 105.7 FM in Strathroy and 90.5 FM in Exeter. For a full schedule of Grand Bend Speedway events, visit grandbendspeedway.ca.
And the 2, that's Blake Watson from West Lorne. 8 laps again, the scheduled distance, heat race number 3 for our junior sprints.
Yeah, as you look at this group that's out there right now, the 18H of Edwin Hyde, who's on the front row of this one, that's actually your points leader in the class right now. Having a really strong run. The 2 of Blake Watson, who looks to be starting from the 4th spot here. She's currently your runner-up in the points. She's out of West Lorne, trying to see if she can chase down that very fast 18H of Edwin Hyde. As the Pace ATV pulls to the infield here, drivers are going to be seeing their white flag. And we'll be setting them loose here for their heat race here momentarily. These are quick 8-lap heat races, rapid fire to start the afternoon off. Up next, we're going to be seeing the NASCAR 9-horsepower sprints, followed by the mini trucks. Then it's into bone stocks, hot rods, super stock, sports sprints, and late model. That's the rotation as the green flag drops. We're underway. The 2 of Blake Watson up to the high side.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that start, John. We'll see if the race control brings him back. Watson was 3 wide. Yep, there we go. Watson was 3 wide in turn 4 coming to the green flag, so we're going to restack him here. So we'll get the Pace ATV back on the track to gather up the field here. Obviously, Blake in that purple number 2 ready to rock and roll here on a Sunday afternoon.
So again, this is the Junior Sprinters, our kids program here at the track. Lots of learning goes on, certainly, in this program. Drivers come at it from various different skill levels and age levels and all kinds of different experiences they've had on the racetrack. And so sometimes it can be a little tricky to get them into their running order.
Yeah, they're going to.
Oh, and they're going back yellow. We're going.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're going to go back yellow. The lineup wasn't done, so they're going to go another one here. Another 2. They'll see the white hopefully next time by. It looks like they might throw the green actually here. Yep, green getting set to come out here. Heat race number 3. And we're going to be 3 wide again. Collins trying to grab the lead, and Collins grabs the lead in turn number 1. Here they go 3 wide. They'll split the 75. Hyde on the inside, Watson on the outside. We're going to keep him green out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. And Blake Watson will lead by half a car length. Dropping the 18H of Hyde to second spot. Collins remains in the 3rd. Then it's Brighton to 15. From here to the end of the season, that 2 needs to finish as much as possible ahead of that 18H, who is the points leader, as John mentioned.
And it's definitely been a tall order. Those 2 are fairly evenly matched out there. The 2 of Blake Watson's got the run on him right now. She's looking pretty fast today, though. 18H of Evan Hyde not quite keeping up to the purple 2 in heat race competition, so that'll be something to watch, certainly when it comes around to feature racing time. Cross flags are out. We're 4 laps in with 4 laps to go here with the junior sprinters.
Yeah, a couple of distinct lines, John, especially going into corner entry, turn number 3. Blake tends to go like maybe 2.5 grooves up into turn number 3 to get a good run through the corner, and Edwin seems to stay low in turn 3. We'll see if they do it again. See, Blake's a little high, Edwin's low into turn 3, so that might slow the 18H down just a hair through cornering.
Well, time set to run out in this one.
White flag this time by the leader number 2 of Blake Watson, Edwin Hyde in the 18H, trying to track her down. Collins remains in 3rd, followed by Paxton Brighton at 15. Through turns 3 and 4, one final time. Checkered flag in the air. The 2 of Blake Watson will win heat race number 3, followed by Hyde in that 18H. Here comes Collins in that 75 to grab the 3rd spot, and Paxton Bright will finish 4th in that 15.
So the 2 of Blake Watson will come through here to victory lane. Got a photo here with April Wilson Photography. Race fans, put your hands together for your winner, the 2 of Blake Watson out of West Lorne. Off to a strong start tonight. She pulls away. For the folks at home there, we're going to give one test to the old replay system here and see if we got that replay system back up and running.
Let's switch classes here. Let's go to the 9 horsepower sprints brought to you by McLean's Home Hardware in Grand Bend and Exeter. Looks like we have 8 cars registered this afternoon. That's awesome. They'll do 8-lap heat races here to begin their program. The green 12, that's Gareth McLean out of Lucan. 44, David Nethercott from Forest, Ontario. .33, we have a couple of 33s. I believe this 33, and John can correct me if I'm wrong, is the 33 BC, Mike Beneteau out of Grand Bend, the 13. Ray Genesee Jr. from Windsor, Ontario.
Yeah, so the 33 BC, that is Beneteau. out here today for the Clarke Memorial.
Yeah, multi-track champ here in this division here at Grand Bend Speedway.
And these 9-horsepower sprinters are a lot of fun to watch. I just heard race control come across there, though, Chris, and they are letting the drivers know, hey, it is pretty windy out here today, so your cars are pretty light and you got those cosmetic wings on the top. Just watch out for that, especially over in turn 2. We'll be watching, too, as they come on down here towards the front straightaway. Gareth McLean, the green number 12, takes us to the green flag with the 9-horsepower sprinters.
Another cut on the outside in the 44. Beneteau will grab the second spot. As they roar down a backstretch, McLean will lead the train through turns 3 and 4 to complete the opening lap. Should be a very competitive class. 8 cars registered this afternoon. McLean, Beneteau, Nethercott, Genesee Jr., your running order. Nethercott looking to the inside of Beneteau. He's there. Will grab the spot. Beneteau looking for the crossover. Genesee Jr. with a little bit of a run. Had to check up as Beneteau came up the track a little bit. And Nethercott closes the door on Beneteau. Had the inside line in turn number 1. Here comes Genesee Jr. trying to grab a spot halfway this time by. McLean's your leader. McLean, Nethercott, Beneteau, Genesee Jr. That's your running order here. Opening heat for the 9-horsepower sprints.
And it's certainly great to see the 33 of Beneteau back out here tonight. Had a kid this year, which is a lot of fun there. Being a new dad, that's a lot of fun. And here at his dad's memorial race, just awesome to see Mike out here at the track today.
Nethercott will dive to the inside with 2 to go at the line. Looking to the inside of the McLean machine in that 12. And Nethercott will grab the lead. McLean goes high. Beneteau with a little bit of a run coming off 2. McLean will cross over to the inside of Nethercott. Will grab the lead right back before that lap's complete. White flag.
And you can see why we love these 9-horsepower sprinters stuck together like glue as Beneteau gets himself up to second. Nethercott getting pinballed back to 4th place here. Checkered flag in the air. Give it to McLean, Beneteau, Genesee Jr. and Nethercott, but throw a blanket over them, folks.
Yeah, great finish. They're all right there. And then Nethercott had to check up on the backstretch, allowing Genesee Jr. to grab that 3rd spot.
But yeah, that's definitely how that's done. As we watch these 9-horsepower sprinters sponsored by Grand Bend Home Hardware.
Heat race number 1, winner 9-horsepower sprints. Race fans, give me a hand. It's Gareth McLean in the 12 from Lucan, Ontario.
And as we get our afternoon underway here at Action Trailers Afternoon, just out of curiosity up there in the grandstands, race fans, who out there, it's their first ever race at Grand Bend Speedway? You've never been to a race at Grand Bend Speedway before. Show us a wave of your hand if it's your first time out at the track ever. Well, a very special welcome to you. We're glad to have you out here at the track today.
Heat race number 2 on track, the 88 red 88. That's Andrew Rose Cole from Forest, Ontario. The 90, that's Keegan Lamont from London. The 33, that's Carter Nickel, Elsa Craig, Ontario. The 45, Anthony Pauly in that white 45. I know when you canvass the race fans, the family to my right, John, didn't raise their hand. That's the Gertz family. They're here. I think they have a trailer in the back 40. They never leave the track, I don't think.
Just hanging out here all week long, riding the go-karts, looping around. There's our white flag, 1 lap before we send these guys at it. 88 Andrew Rose Cole up on the front spot in the red machine.
Lamont, Nickel, and Pauly finishing off the running order as John will bring him to green.
Green flag flies for the 88 of Andrew Rose Cole, followed by the 90, Keegan Lamont. 33 is Carter Nickel, the 45, Anthony Paul. Oh, slow down the backstretch goes the 88 of Andrew Rosecole, dropping like a stone to third place with the 90 of Keegan Lamont, going to lead lap number 1 here in the 8-lap heat races.
Yeah, John, it just looked like Andrew's car did not want to turn left in turn 2, went straight up the track. Looks like he's got her back under speed and pressuring a Nickel in that 33 for second spot.
And you see to me, when I look where the flags are and how the flags are waving over there in turn 2 and what we saw there, to me, that might have been the wind. Look at the way he catches it, takes him around. Caution's
Paul
out.
Eyes around 2 and stayed underneath the 88 and saved it and continues to roll down the back, but we're under caution.
Yeah, because he was having a heck of a time over there in turn 2. He's fast, but the handling wasn't there, or he's catching the wind. Like, it's windy, but it's not like outrageously windy. To me, it's just right in that sweet spot where it is just enough that, especially for the lighter cars like the 9-horsepower sprinters and the junior sprints, I think it is giving them, it's different. I'll put it this way. It's different than it normally is here on a Saturday night, because I don't think we've really had a night out here, Chris, where it's been particularly windy. But here, you know, heading into September, we're into September now, and things have cooled down, and we got a cool September wind coming across the racetrack on an afternoon race.
Yeah, you're right, John. And when we've had maybe some windy events, the wind's mainly going down the front stretch or going down the back stretch. So we haven't really had a wind event that's involving the corners. Like we mentioned earlier on, it's kind of getting pushed through turns 1 and 2. If you look at the flags, getting pushed from the wind through turns 1 and 2. But when you come into 3 and 4, you're into the headwind, right? So it definitely can affect these cars at this speed.
Okay, while they're getting that sorted out there, fans of stands, who wants to play a game and maybe win a hat? Who wants to play a game to maybe win a hat? You're avoiding eye contact. Maybe you. Perhaps it could be you who's the winner. But there's a game that goes with it, so it's not automatic. Okay, what's your name, where are you from?
Jason Fulton, Ilderton, Ontario.
Okay, what's your name, where are you from?
Shannon Leach, Ilderton, Ontario.
Okay, you guys all together? Do you guys know each other? Kinda? Oh,
Well, we got a rise from the Gertz family when he introduced himself, John.
oh, now they're looking. They're out looking. Do you guys know them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sponsor those boys.
Oh, there you go. Well, thanks for sponsoring the cars. And what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Paul, and I'm from Oakville.
Okay, cool. Well, I just need 3 to play the game because we're only going to have 3 left out there. All right, we'll work from left to right. Which number is your pick to win the race?
I can't see them.
Your choices are 90, 33, or 45.
33.
Okay, you chose 33. Oh, you snapped your fingers, so you were thinking that Carter Nickel can pull it off. All right, sir, your choices are the 90 or the 45?
I'll do 90.
Okay, you chose the 90, and sure, Pauli's not a bad pick. By default, you're going with the 45, all right?
Oh, man.
All right, he's in. The winner's going to win a hat for Action Trailers, all right? We'll see how this shakes out. Don't forget who you picked, because I might forget. Announcers are really forgetful that way. All right. I won't wear the hat, though. You guys don't want to get headlights today, do you? Nah.
Did you just really say that, John? The Gertz family said they want more money into the trucks, too.
What do you do? Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't. I guess it would have, it could have been really awkward, though, because it could have been the mini trucks out there during this competition. And then if he didn't pick one of the Gertz trucks, it's like, where's your faith? Where's your confidence in your choice? Green flag in the starter's hand.
Yeah, Andrew Rosecole taken back to the pit area. Hopefully Andrew can return later this afternoon.
Keegan Lamont in the black, number 90, the 33 of Carter Nickel, 45 Anthony Paulette. Green flag flies. We got a hat on the line in the grandstands, and we're racing with the 9-horsepower sprinters. Second heat race. We lost the 88 of Andrew Rosecole, unfortunately, after that spin. But the Brad Clarke Memorial, presented by Action Trailers, continues with the 33 of Carter Nickel out front, being chased by the 90, who's looking now down to the inside, takes a peek, and takes the spot down the front straightaway. The black number 90, your leader.
Yeah, Keegan's had a fantastic 2025 as far as insurging his name as a contender each and every time they're on the track. The 90s had a great year.
Cross flags halfway through, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Carter Nickel in the 33 keeping the pedal to the metal here, trying to catch up to a very fast and confident looking number 90 of Keegan Lamont. It'll be 2 laps to go here at the stripe at the start-finish line. Starter wheel gives him the 2 to go signal.
Same as the junior sprints, 2 distinct lines here with Lamont and Nickel into the corners. Nickel going in high, both in turns 1 and 3.
White flag flies, final lap. Yeah, he runs it high, cuts right across the apex of the turn, trying to get the attack going here. He did close up quite a bit of ground. Oh, spin in front of them. Look out, the 45, Anthony Paulai goes around. Checkered flag will be out for the 90 of Keegan Lamont. 33, Carter Nickel for second. That's all we wrote on that one. Eyes wide off the 4th turn. All right, who had the 90? That was you. The sponsor takes it. All right, Action Trailer sponsor it today, and a hat for you, sir. Congrats. Round of applause for our hat winner. And let's give a round of applause, too, to Keegan Lamont in the black number 90. He's your winner here in the 9 horsepower sprinters. Special thanks to our supporters. Marbolt Fasteners, Strathroy. In a need-it-now world, nothing is worse than not being able to take your soybeans off, not finish a fabrication job, or even finish the bed frame for your family staying the weekend just because of a few bolts you couldn't find in town. With over 10,000 and growing different items in stock, we are your solution. Locally owned and operated, visit marbolt.com. Family-owned and operated McCann Ready Mix has Ready Mix plants located in Mount Carmel, Exeter, Mitchell, and Watford. They offer a wide variety of other services ranging from concrete construction, excavation, aggregates, and drag lining. Marshman Engines has been a longtime supporter of competition at Grand Bend Speedway. Keith Marshman has been a trusted and reliable source for small engine repair, maintenance, and diagnostics. Thank you, Marshman Engines. Located in Exeter, Ontario, Country Corners is a family-run multi-line power sports dealership selling and servicing motorcycles, snowmobiles, ATVs, side-by-sides, e-bikes, tractors, and more. Visit them at countrycorners.net. Special thanks also to CarQuest Auto Parts Park Hill, Home Run Delivery, Lambton Sanitation, Stratford Auto Recycle, Cobra Racing Tires, Action Trailers, and Horton's Lakeshore Enterprises. Thank you also to RCM Racing Equipment, Excalibur Insurance, and Leaf Racewear. Broadcast services for today's race are provided by checkeredflagmedia.com. For a full summer schedule of Grand Bend Speedway events, visit grandbendspeedway.ca.
Former Busing Stable entry. Looks like Mason's going to be piloting that 22 this afternoon. And the 88 also doing double duty, Andrew Rose-Cole. We saw him in the 9 horsepower, now in the mini trucks from Forest, Ontario. Look at this grid. This is awesome stuff. Feature race number 1 of 2 for the Robson Scrap Metals mini trucks here. And Hyde will bring him to the line.
And down the front straightaway, green flag flies here at the Brad Clarke Memorial. So many of these trucks were built by Brad. What a legacy we see going out at turn 2 as the trucks are pedal to the metal. It takes them a couple laps to get up to full speed. 3 wide to the middle turn.
3 wide into turns 3 and 4. Hustle follow through. Oh, big hit on the outside. That's Malachi Busick. Rose-Cole's around in the 88. And an early caution here in feature race number 1. Heavy damage on that right front of the 2. And Malachi will take it back to the pits right away. And they'll attend to the 88 of Rose-Cole in the infield. Looked like the 2, I don't know if you have it on replay, John, looked like the 2 of Malachi just got really loose in turn 4 and went right up to the wall.
Oh yeah, we got it a ton on replay here. We got the Cam 2 replay up. We're just keeping an eye. We caught it on the stationary cam. We just see them just coming into frame. Actually, I think he might have been on his own.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think he was very loose in turn number 4, if you see it on replay, and just the truck turned right up to the wall. And then I think Andrew Rose-Cole, just trying to break for it, lost the back end.
Yeah, the 88 just got hard on the brakes and spun around on his own. We got it on the slow-mo there as a heck of a hit there. But yeah, the 2 just on his own. He was on the high side of a 3-wide situation. They were fighting hard in there and just tried to hold on to it, and then the 88 comes through. Good news for the 88, he didn't hit anything.
Yeah, good opportunity here, John, under caution, to reconnect and tell us that little connection there for the race fans of Brad Clarke and a lot of these trucks that are on track right now.
Well, it's an awesome thing. So, you know, the 2 divisions I associate most with Brad Clarke are the junior late models, which are half-scale late model racing vehicles. They kind of like they're patterned actually after the CASCAR Super Series cars of that time period. What now the NASCAR Canada Series, but and then of course the mini trucks. And so these half-scale cars and trucks, Brad initially started, they were building them down at the Performance Fiberglass shop over at Delaware Speedway, and then later getting where now the Outside Groove Diner is out of turn 2, they were constructing them in the garages. Brad was constructing them in the garages in there, and this was really the mini trucks and the junior late models. Ultimately, the J-Car series is what it was called, Junior Canadian Auto Racing Series, was really, it was always Brad that was pushing it. It was always Brad that was really, he was such an amazing craftsman, you know, these days where everything's kind of like mass-produced and all this stuff. Brad, his fingerprints are all over so many of these trucks, even the design, the safety improvements that came over the years. It's really, really cool, you know, for me, because when I was a kid, I raced in a car that was built by Brad, right? And so to see these mini trucks out here and to see the drivers coming out, sometimes people say memorial race, no memorial race, you know, what do you do with a memorial race? One thing about the driver, you see how many of them are out today because they know what Brad Clarke did for the mini trucks. And when they can come together as a racing community like that, and we see them all out there at once, you know, they race all over the place, mini trucks do, but when we can get them all in one place like this, where Brad worked on so many of these trucks, what a cool thing to be able to see for Brad's family, to be able to see all these trucks and drivers coming together for this race.
Yeah, I need to talk about the Sim brothers. Mason Culver's back out today as well for the Brad Clarke Memorial. Green flag. Malachi Busink back into the race in that 2, which is nice to see. And the field will rumble through turns 1 and 2. Hyde on the inside, Graham on the outside. There's Sim. Here comes the 18 of Quinn Gerst to the inside, looking for the 3rd spot. They'll come side by side, and Graham will lead that lap. Gerst will wash up the track. Contact. Quinn Gerst will go high on the outside. They're 3 wide for 2 rows, and Quinn Gerst will grab the lead from the outside and lead lap number 2.
Just heard race control come across the radio say to the drivers, watch out guys, it's not bumper cars out there, but they keep them all pointed in the right direction as the green 18 of Gertz, now your leader, being chased by Glencoe's number 4 of Dylan Graham, Nick Thuss in the black 53. But we're kind of watching the mid-pack there with the 49 of Sim in the black car, blue 15 of Keisha Zimic. As now the drivers sort of get themselves sorted out. The 49 of Sim now down to the 19, inside of the 19 of Gertz. That's good for 4th place.
Problems on our pole center. The 18H of Edwin Hyde will peel off the track at turn 1. Problems on that 18H, and Graham has reeled in Gertz for the lead. Fox remains in 3rd spot. Side-by-side battle for 4th.
Trouble on turn 4. The 88 of Andrew Rose-Cole goes around.
Yeah, 2nd caution on the 88. That might do him for the feature race number 1. I think went around again on his own. Had the same problems with his 9-horsepower Sprint in the opposite corner, turn 2, a few moments ago.
Yeah, they do have a 2 cautions you're out rule, but I don't know if the 88 was the cause of the initial caution at the start of the event. He got involved in it, but he got, my interpretation of that has always been you got to be like the cause.
I would agree with that. Absolutely. Yep,
So
I would agree.
I think he's going to be safe. Now, they could call that, that's your first strike, I would say. I think that would maybe be justifiable. I'll pull the replay here and see Well, we'll see if the old replay is going to work for me here today. You know, our buddy John Paul, John Paul is our regular camera operator. John Paul's, at this time of year, he heads back with net missions, and so he's up in Ottawa getting trained up for his cross-Canada mission. But Philip's doing a great job up there in the stand, but when John Paul's away, things don't quite work the way we like, and so we were having trouble with the replay system, so I'm trying to run it manually. We'll see if we're able to go to that Camp 2 replay here.
Good news,
We
the
do catch just
18H
the
of
end of
Edwin
it.
Hyde is back on the track. John, I initially thought it might have been something broke because he fell through the field and then exited the track, but good to see Edwin back on the track.
So I think we are going to catch this here on the replay. Oh no, we just catch the tail end of it. You see the 88 Rose Gold going around, so I got to be a little quicker on the trigger there on those replays if we're going to see those properly today.
And I guess the 22 of Mason Culver went back for a consultation in the pit area, and the 22 I'm hearing from race control coming back up here to re-enter the track. Quinn Gertz, your leader in that 18, Dylan Graham in the 4, Nick Thusson at 53, and Hayden Sim in that 49, Caleb Gertz in the 19, that's your top 5, and Culver has rejoined the field in that 22. 20 laps of scheduled distance here for feature race number 1 for the Robson Scrap Metals mini trucks here. What a fantastic field.
Okay, I'm going to make things super awkward for the Gertzes. Here I come. Okay. So it's Action Trailers Day. For the people at home, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Laura Gertz from Delhi.
All right. And which one's yours?
The 18 and the 19.
Okay. So you can pick anyone but the 18 and the 19. Who do you think's going to win this race?
I love it. I was hoping you would do that, John. I love it.
Anyone but. Who's the biggest threat?
Graham.
All right, the black number 4. All right, so you're rooting for the black number 4 today.
Wait till we tell the rest of the Gertz family what just occurred.
Oh, that was
White flag already been displayed, and Quinn Gertz will lead him to the line. They're all stacked up here. Mini trucks, Graham on the outside, Thuss and Caleb Gertz, row number 2. And green flag, we're racing again. Dead heat going into turn number 1. Quinn Gertz on the inside, Graham on the outside, and it's Thuss, Caleb Gertz, Sim. Both Sim boys on the inside, Casey Zimick in that blue 15. And Quinn will grab the lead. Graham remains on the outside. Nick Thuss will challenge. 2 by 2 from third on back. At 22, Mason Culver still very loose at the back of the field. The front 7 have gotten away here. Front 7.
I just saw out of the corner of my eye some real trouble there out of the 4th turn.
Caleb Gertz advancing on the outside, gets by Nick Thuss in that 53. And the Gertz boys sandwiching our race pick of the 4 of Dylan Graham. Graham trying to get back to the leader, but has a mirror full, and Dylan was very loose in turn number 4. Has a mirror full, the 19 of Caleb Gertz. Thus, the 2 Sim boys and Zimick, your running order, the front 7 all by themselves. Halfway, 10 down, 10 to go here. Feature race number 1 for the mini trucks. (19) looking to the inside. The 4 will shut the door. Quinn Gertz trying to get away. Graham caught the 18 before the last caution, but he's got too much pressure right now. 19 loose in turn 4. And the 88 of Rose Cole is going to leave the track in turn number 1 just as the leaders come by. Caleb Gertz with some pressure on the 4. Graham looking to the inside at the door. He's there, side by side for second. Dead heat at the line. Caleb Gertz on the inside, Dylan Graham on the outside, and Caleb will grab the second spot.
I don't think this Gertz is going to win that hat today at this rate. We got double Gertzes out front. That's the 4 of Dylan Graham sliding back to the 3rd place spot. The Gertz cousins leading the way.
4 laps to go that time by. 4 to go for the 18 of Quinn Gertz. They have some traffic now. The 11 of Klumper, the 18H of Hyde, they're going to have to contend with here. And Caleb Gertz is closing in, has almost bridged that gap from the 4 to the 18. We'll see how Quinn can work the traffic here. 2 to go. Will he get to Klumper and Edwin Hyde? He might by the time this feature's done. Here we go. How does Quinn negotiate traffic? First, he'll get to the inside of the 11, no problem there. Now Caleb has to do the same thing. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air for the 18 of Quinn Gertz. Followed by the 19 of Caleb Gertz, the 4 of Dylan Graham. Your top 3. Thus, Hayden Sim, Zimick, Carson Sim, Mason Culver, Edwin Hyde, and 11 of Klumper. Your unofficial running order. And we'll hear from our feature race number 1 winner with John Helton coming up momentarily.
So we'll come on down here. Quinn Gertz, our winner. Race fans, put your hands together. Quinn Gertz, our winner. Quinn, congratulations. Give the flag a wave, why don't you? There, take the win. Congratulations, a successful run tonight for the 18 this afternoon.
Yeah, lots of trucks out. It's good to see. It's not too much to say. I kind of ran away with it. Early race got a bit tight, and everyone bundled up, so it was easy to knock off 3 passes at a time.
You described that so casually, your massive 3-wide pass for the win in the first opening laps, but who do you want to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Fulton J Financial for coming out tonight especially. I'd like to thank Action Trailers for giving away the winning truck a trailer tonight. I'd like to thank Brad Clarke for hosting the race and all that he did to start up the class. And I'd like to thank my dad and everyone else that came out.
Race fans, that's the 18 of Quinn Gertz. Let's come see cousin Caleb. You know, by finishing first and second here like this, you guys cost your family a hat. They actually had bet on the 4 of Dylan Graham. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm very disappointed in my family for betting against me.
You hear that? He's very disappointed in you for choosing.
Oh, you weren't?
Oh, let's see. It was a bit of a trick on my part, I guess. Who do you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank Fulton J Financial, Action Trailer for sponsoring the night, House to Home for coming out with Jay, my mom, my dad, and yeah, everyone who comes out and supports us. It's really great.
That's the 19 of Caleb Gertz, and down here to the 3rd favorite driver of the Gertz family. It's the 4 of Dylan Graham. Had you won tonight, they would have won an Action Trailers hat. 3rd place, you going to win them the hat in the second feature or what?
I hope so. I mean, unlucky that I just got drove into and then got sideways, but 18 truck was fast, so can't really do anything about that.
Who do you want to thank tonight?
Just like to thank Gary Graham Transport and then Brad Clarke for helping me start my racing career, and just everyone that helps me get to the track.
Race fans, put your hands together for the 4 of Dylan Graham out of Glencoe. That's our top 3 in the mini trucks.
right, race fans, time now for our Huron Taxi late models. Our Cobra Cup NASCAR late models. And we have 5 late models out with us this afternoon, which is fantastic. The 99, that's Jaden Chapman from Sarnia, Ontario. Jeremy Curtis out of Park Hill in that 77. Rylan Fascinato out of Goddard's in the 25. Dwayne Horton also from Goddard's in the 92. Jonathan Schwemmler in the 1 from Listowel, Ontario. And heat race for the late models, 8 laps in scheduled distance. Been growing very nicely over this year. Nice to see 5 late models out this afternoon. Fascinato will lead him to the line, 8 laps, the scheduled distance for this late model heat race. Looking for green this time by. Horton on the outside at turn number 4. Green flag, racing with the late models. And Fascinato will grab the lead. Horton a second. Schwemmler to the inside of Curtis for the 3rd spot. Chapman right there in the 99.
Fighting each other here off the 4th turn. The 99 of Curtis, or rather the 99 of Jaden Chapman, trying to get a run on the 1 of Jonathan Schwemmler. Side by side, they go out of the 4th turn here, put pedal to the metal once again. The front 3 have now broke away. The 25, Rylan Fascinato, 92, Dwayne Horton, 77 of Jeremy Curtis. As the cross flags fly, the late models knock off these laps in a real hurry. Fascinato is your points leader in the Cobra Tire Cup right now for the late models.
Yeah, 8 laps doesn't take long for these late models as Fascinato continues to lead.
And these late models have been a lot of fun to see grow in recent years at the track. You know, running the Cobra tires on them has been a real boon for the class. It's kept the tire budgets low because the tires basically, from what I was talking to the drivers, they're on their original tires from the start of the year as the white flag flies final lap, which is practically unheard of in local stock car racing to be able to run a full season on the same tires. The 25 Fascinato's got a mirror full of the 92 of Dwayne Horton, but it won't be enough as Fascinato takes the heat race win. 92 Horton for 2nd, 77 Jeremy Curtis 3rd, Jaden Chapman in the 99 for 4th, and the 1 of Jonathan Schwemmler rounds out the field. Schwemmler, a regular front runner here. Shocking to see his car not up to the task here in the heat race. He actually does a quick exit hard right off the track. He's definitely going to be making some changes to that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Rylan Fascinato waving to you, the fans. Let's give him a round of applause. Your heat race winner. And that's a 25 late model.
And I do keep an eye, because earlier today I asked a poll question. I said, well, who is it that's out here having their first ever event at Grand Bend Speedway? And I saw these 2 kids had their hand up, so you can take one of those, and you can take one of those. And at the intermission, there's the Outside Groove Diner, and you can go get some ice cream if it's okay with your parents, okay? Got it? They said thank you. You guys have been to races before, have you? Because you got the big earmuffs. Is it your first ever race? He's nodding yes. There's no camera crew though. It's only me. All right, enjoy the show, guys. Up next, we've got the Hot Rods. Now, the Hot Rods are a bit of an exhibition series here at Grand Bend Speedway. We were trying them out a little bit this year. And fun to see the car up front here. The 50 of Chris Lawrence has now repainted into classic. His dad, Dave Lawrence, famous racer here in Ontario, he's repainted it to look like his dad's car, and that looks really nostalgic for us up here in the grandstand. White flag flies. I'm up here with Carter Nickel, who was racing in the 9 horsepower sprinters. How's it going tonight, Carter?
Pretty good. Car feels really great. We just weren't able to get the run off the corners like we wanted, so we're going to make some slight adjustments to the car and see where we can finish in the feature.
Just before these guys go green, is the wind giving you guys any trouble out there?
Hasn't been giving me any trouble yet. I don't know about old man Mike Beneteau if it's giving him any trouble, but...
You think he's watching? Oh, he is. He's right over there. Green flag flies on the hot rods. We're racing. And it's a one-on-one duel.
Yeah, great paint job replica on that 50 a couple Fridays ago. The Dave Lawrence Memorial at the Delaware Speedway was privileged to be a part of that. Great turnout. And Ed Peterson out of Lonsborough, Ontario will grab the lead in Richard Petty replica paint job 43. Chris Lawrence out of London will fall in the second for now.
And this has been, as we were saying, a bit of an experimental class at Grand Bend Speedway this year. It's a type of car we'd love to be able to run out here. And as I sometimes think, you got to show what you can do before the drivers will really come out. And so, Chris Lawrence has been a big supporter of it. Ed Peterson has been a big supporter. They've come out to showcase these cars. And, for the hot rod drivers watching from home, they get to see, especially on checkerflagmedia.com, there as the 43 of Peterson gets down onto the grass down on the inside. Lawrence checked up a little bit there because he wasn't quite sure if he had the angle going to turn one, I think. But again, it is neat to be able to, especially with the live streaming program, drivers are able to see these cars from home and they go, well, there's a bunch of payout money actually that was put up for this. And there was actually a big NASCAR championship fund that was put up for this. And a lot of money was on the table actually in the hot rods and the Superstock program as well this year. And hopefully over the off season, drivers will get a look at that and say, actually, I think I could have done that and take a run at it in 2026. I love this style of car though. So much fun to see out here at the track. Again, today's racing sponsored by Action Trailers. As we see Ed Peterson leading the way. The 50 of Chris Lawrence trying to track him down. But it is a 25-lap feature race for these drivers to get their full NASCAR laps and points in. And Lawrence is definitely keeping him in the sights, but Peterson, despite kind of getting down on the grass a couple of laps back, seems to have the thing pointed in the right direction. He's making a move here towards the next checkered flag. 15 laps from now, if he can keep this thing going.
Yeah, Peterson doing a good job of staying out front. John has been loose a couple of times in turn number 4, but Lawrence hasn't been able to shrink that gap at all.
But yeah, there really were two kind of exhibition programs. That's not the technical term for them because they were real races with real payouts, with real checker flags, with a real championship points fund. So in that sense, they were not exhibition. But when I say exhibition, we're just trying to say we're showing something new here at the track. And so those two divisions in particular were the hot rods that you see on the track right now and the Superstock and Sportsman, which we'll see out here in just a few minutes. And trying something different out here as the track balances two things. We've got certainly our half-scale competition with mini trucks, as you saw, awesome competition, 9 horsepower sprints, junior sprints, things like that. Also looking at the full-size competition here at the track. Hot rods, Superstock Sportsman, the late model program, the bone stocks. All of these programs for the full-size cars that the track is trying to develop to really be a viable racing destination for all kinds of vehicles, right? Whether it's a little car or whether it's the full-size vehicles. And, it's kind of funny, I've said before, I'll say it again. When I first started working for Grand Bend a few years ago, in my mind, I always thought, junior cars, junior trucks, mini trucks, junior sprints. That was how I thought of the track. If I closed my eyes and thought of Grand Bend Speedway, that would be sort of what I would think of. These days, if I'm thinking about the track, I oftentimes think of the bone stocks first, or even the late models. And so that's been kind of the more racing that you see out here at the track, you come to be able to recognize that it's a viable racing destination for all kinds of vehicles, including hot rods on the track right now, being led around by the 43 of Ed Pearson out of Lonsborough. He's got 5 laps left before he's going to get to claim a checkered flag, provided he keeps this thing on the rails.
Yeah, slowly but surely just increasing that lead ever so slightly each and every lap. We're in the late stages of this feature race for the NASCAR Cobra Cup Hot Rod Division. Two to go this time by for the leader, Ed Peterson from Lonsborough, Ontario. Half a mile to go for that 43. Chris Lawrence trying to track him down through turns 3 and 4. We'll see the white flag this time by. One more time through the backstretch into turn 3 and now turn 4. Checker flag awaits the 43. Ed Peterson will win feature race number 1 for the NASCAR Cobra Cup Hot Rod Division, followed by the 50 of Chris Lawrence. And we'll hear from our winning driver coming up here momentarily with John Helton.
Down here in victory lane, waiting for the 43 of Ed Peterson to hop out. He's got a lot of safety equipment to pull off here. Here he comes, put a flag in his hand. He's your winner here in the Hot Rods. Well, Ed, congratulations here. You got the 43 working pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I do. For once, I've been having a bad luck this year with parts failures and stuff, but today we finally got it right. I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out here tonight and all the staff and everyone at Grand Bend Speedway for giving us a place to race. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Rudy Hell Performance Center out of New Hamburg, Horton Lakeshore Enterprises out of Petrolia, Martin Automotive Restorations out of Brussels. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for their continued support, my crew, Calvin, Graham, and Casey for their help today, and congratulations to Chris on his championship.
Race fans, put your hands together for the 43 of Ed Peterson. We'll come see the 50 of Chris Lawrence. He's opted to stay in the car, but that's okay. We'll come and we'll see him. A successful run here, certainly in the hot rods for you this year. You'll take home the championship. But give a message for the folks at home. Are these fun to rip around Grand Bend Speedway?
It's a blast here. I grew up here on this track, and I'm back here, 10, 15 years later in a big car. So really happy to see the progression. They still got all the kids' karts and the junior lates and some of these big cars now, and they even have go-karts and stuff for the fans. So a little bit of everything out here at the Bull Ring, and just happy to be a part of it.
Anyone to thank?
I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out tonight, everybody at the track and the staff that make it possible for us to come out and do this. A big shout out to McCall Racing for really helping get this car together for me. And my wife, my crew, and everybody who comes out and does this with us.
Race fans, that's the 50 of Chris Lawrence here in the Hot Rods at Grand Bend Speedway today.
Next up, race fans, is our Cobra Cup NASCAR Superstock Sportsman feature race number 1. The 50 of Chris Lawrence is going to stay out there. He's going to participate. Here's the 45 of Ryan Bright from Petrolia, Ontario.
And so the drivers getting keyed up here in the Superstock Sportsman feature race. As we kind of get looking at it here, Ryan Bright in the 45. I'm just trying to look here. Yeah, like as we look at how they were doing the payouts for the Superstock Sportsman, just to give an idea, of how much commitment Grand Bend Speedway put into this. My notes show that the base payout for the Superstock Sportsman was $500. They also have what's called a double down loyalty bonus, so if a driver ran all the events in the Cobra Tire Cup, that they would double the payout. So if you sort of look at that by quick math, Ryan Bright might be the richest man in Ontario motorsports this year, because this is, what is this, round number 4 of the Cobra Tire Cup. He's won all 4 races. You double that, he's taken home he'll be taking home $4,000 once he hits his double down loyalty bonus. So Ryan Bright might be the smartest Superstock Sportsman driver in the province right now by a wide margin by running all these Grand Bend Speedway events.
Green flag on the Speedway, 25 laps of scheduled distance. And Chris Lawrence doing double duty. That's going to be 100 laps on that 50 car today. As they'll do feature race number 2 in the second half of our program. Bright will lead in that 45.
Well, that 45, I think he's got a bit of a horsepower advantage. They're on the same tires, and it's interesting, a Superstock Sportsman can't run down in the hot rods, but a hot rod can bump up and run in the Superstock Sportsman. And again, Chris Lawrence, he's a smart cookie as well by running in both divisions, which Peterson feasibly could do as well, by the way. But by running in both divisions, he ends up taking home the second place payout here in the Superstock Sportsman, I believe, as well. And so I think what's been really interesting, I've been in racing for a number, I used to say a number of years, but I guess, Chris, you and I can both say we've been in motorsports now, you and I, for many years now. And the one thing I've noticed when I have been around is drivers used to always say we want to get paid more money. That's what's gonna drive the car count. I'm not convinced that's always necessarily the case, because Grand Bend threw a ton of money at the Superstock Sportsman program this year on the hot rods as well. I think more what it is, certainly on the Grand Bend perspective, is showing drivers what's possible, right? So heading into next season, we've got a couple good things going, certainly in the Superstock Sportsman, the hot rod program. One certainly is the payout program that was put forward. 2, though, is now we've got all this videotape and all these laps that have been made in Superstock Sportsman and hot rod competition that shows what is possible. And so I'm curious to see over the off season sort of how that ends up developing, especially with these hot rods, whether this is something that the hot rod community in Ontario grabs onto and recognizes Grand Bend Speedway as a viable racing destination, or what it's going to take to demonstrate that. I suppose if the hot rod drivers were watching from home, that would be the question that I would ask and say, email in with the answer. What would it take to showcase us as a viable racing destination? Because I firmly believe that we are. And it sort of is, you got to see it to believe it. You've got to, once again, you see these drivers out here, if it wasn't working and it wasn't fun and it wasn't viable for racing, what you would see is a bunch of one and dones. So you'd see guys like Ryan Bright come out once and then they would say, oh, I can't do that anymore. Or Chris Lawrence would come out and say the same thing. But what we see by and large with these exhibition divisions is drivers come out and then they keep on coming out continuously once they've done it at least once, because there really is a sense, once you've done it once, you sort of have it figured out. You go, okay, that is possible. That does make sense. I can race on this track, and that's And that's sometimes where that goes. So we'll see. Certainly in the off season, I think that's going to be a big area of development, is trying to figure out how to contend with the full-size divisions. You know, the bone stocks have been growing, the late models have been growing. They introduced the super stock sportsman and hot rod programs to see if we could get those going this year. But it takes time. You know, it takes time to start a fire. It takes time to light a fire at a campsite. And that's very much what we've been trying to do with the super stock sportsman is, you know, set up that campfire and see if it'll light. They put a lot of fuel on it in the form of payouts this year. And, you know, hopefully the Ontario racing community drivers and the hot rods and sportsmen see that and make a real run at it for 2026. I guess really what you're seeing on the track right now does show the difference between a purpose-built super stock sportsman and a hot rod, because, you know, I think the challenge now, the big question is, can the 45 of Ryan Bright put the hot rod a lap down in 25 laps? The answer is maybe. I think he is going to catch him, actually, as I sort of look at the differential here. All 6 laps to go. Oh, he might not catch him, actually. I'm looking. We'll see. But those Cobra tires are going to work. Again, both these drivers are running the same tires. But the horsepower up on the 45 is, I think, going to be chasing down here the back of the 50 before we know it. Just 5 laps to go. It'll be 4 laps to go here on Action Trailers night. It is the Brad Clarke Memorial at Grand Bend Speedway. Up next is going to be the Bone Stocks, sponsored by Dock Stater Property Maintenance. And as I swing around here, white flag, final lap, the 45 of Ryan Bright does take his checker flag as Chris Lawrence takes his white flag. And that'll do it for those drivers there in the Super Stock and Sportsman. Oh yeah, and then by the way, in addition to the weekly payout that I was just talking about in the Sportsman, Ryan Bright also takes home a NASCAR payout as well as the winner here at the track.
Same trick, Philip.
So we'll swing on down, catch a quick word with the 45 of Ryan Bright. And for the folks at home, Chris, we've got your favorite camera working again. It's the hat cam has made a return with cameraman John Paul being away this week. Checker Flag Media up there's a one-man show with Philip. Philip can't be 2 places at once, but they can always strap a camera to my hat. And I guess that's really something here. Here's Ryan Bright. Put a checker flag in his hand because he's the winner here in the Super Stock Sportsman. And I was just saying, Ryan, I think you might be the smartest super stock sportsman in the entire province, taking home the biggest payout, because sort of you've probably sat at home and done the math between the weekly payout, the double down loyalty bonus, and the assured championship in this case. You did well this season.
Yeah, it's been probably our best season yet, and probably our best ever. But that's the thing with the kids racing here on a weekly basis. When there's only 5 races for me to do, it only made sense to bring the car out, dust it off, and just try to have a little fun while we can.
So as we head off into the off season, do you think some of the other super stock sportsman drivers will figure out that it makes sense too?
I think in time some are catching on, but they're just so far into their season they just got to ride out this year, and hopefully next year it grows.
Who do you want to thank this afternoon?
I gotta give Chris a big thanks for coming out doing the double header here to run with me. It's always fun to have someone out here with you. Big thanks to Grand Bend, everyone who helps out, volunteers, works here. Elevation Tree Service, my wife, the kids, my mom who's helped out, all our sponsors, and just all the fans who are here today.
Ryan Bright in the 45. We'll get a photo here with April Wilson Photography. And Chris, I guess this shows us the difference between a Superstock Sportsman and a hot rod, ultimately.
Yes and no. He has a very good super stock. I wish I was a little more prepped with my package here. It's kind of an in-between on both the hot rods and the super stocks. So leave a little bit on the table to be able to do both, but no real complaints here.
Cowboy Chris Lawrence in the 50 tonight. And we'll throw things back up to Chris Soares. Chris Lawrence says, I'm off to go get in the bone stock. Is there anything you're not racing tonight, Chris? Sprint cars. Not, he doesn't fit. He says he doesn't fit in the sprint.
Time now for our bone stock class, brought to you by Dock Stater Property Maintenance. They're going to be running some heat races here for you. 8 laps the scheduled distance.
Great field of bone stocks here tonight. This is the heat race number 1, so you'll see a pair of heat races for the bone stocks.
Yeah, out front, the 07, that's Aiden McNichol from Exeter, Ontario. James Houghton in the 41 from Breslau. Any relation, John?
All right, we always get into this here. So, James, what was the town?
Breslau.
Where's that?
It's in Ontario.
Oh, that's not helpful. Because there's the Houghtons of, how to phrase this. So there's 2 groups of Houghtons. There's the Houghtons from Glanworth. That's the one that I'm from. And then there's also Houghtons out in Sarnia. And we don't seem to have a family reunion. So the Houghtons from Sarnia and the Houghtons from Glanworth don't seem to meet up very often, but we do know each other are out there. And so occasionally I'll be calling a race and suddenly there'll be a Houghton out there. And just like just happened here, Chris, we go, who's that? And it happened a few years ago. It was the Pro 4s had a Houghton out of Sarnia that was racing. And I was like, that's neat. So I'll have to go see him after and find out if we're distant relatives.
34, that's Dan Story from Beachville, Ontario. 83 at the back, looks like Craig Cole from Beachville, Ontario as well. Looks like the 78 on the outside, that's Lucas Chapman from Sarnia. Here we go, 8 laps scheduled distance. Green flag with the bone stocks. Houghton trying to grab the lead on the outside. The 07 of McNichol back on the inside fighting for it. Craig Cole very high on that outside of turn number 3 in that 83 machine. Still side by side for the lead. Dan Story trying to get there into 34. And McNichol will grab the lead. Houghton back to the outside. Story there as well. 3-car battle at the front of the field. And Chapman and Cole.
And still fighting wheel to wheel at the front of this one. The 07 of Aiden McNichol fighting tooth and nail with the 41 of James Houghton. Still wheel to wheel, throwing it in deep on the high side. The white 41 of James Houghton trying to get to the front of this one. 07 down on the inside, Aiden McNichol. Houghton falling back just a little bit, still has that outside lane. He can throw it in real deep up there, but it's hard to get it round.
That's brought Story back into it. It's also bringing Chapman slowly but surely back into this fight.
This is your battle for the lead at the start-finish line. The 41 of James Houghton. Breslau is up by Kitchener. I looked it up while the drivers were getting up and running there. Oh, contact, the 43 of Dan Story.
Actually, he stayed off him, John. He hammered on the brakes to stay off the rear bumper and cost him a spot to Chapman. No contact, heavy on the brakes, though.
The white flag has flown. And a little bump and run here maybe from the 41 of Houghton. Slides the 07 up, and he goes for it and takes the win with the bump and run. Goes the 41. He didn't spin him, but he did give him a shot. I guess that's a Rubbins racing or Bumpins racing moment there, because he did. He just lined him up, just gave not enough to turn him around, just gave him a little bump.
Yep, that is the A example of the bump and run bone stock edition. So that should make for an interesting feature later on between those two.
Race fans, put your hands together for the 41 of James Houghton. It's the bump and run for the win. The only thing that surprises me, Chris, I'll just say this, the only thing that surprises me about the bump and run at Grand Bend Speedway, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'll say it. I'm surprised we don't see it more often, because it's definitely a bit of an elbows up track.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Like I was going to say, I've hardly seen that move at this track over the years.
Well, because to me, you and I used to call it Delaware, right? You still do the Rogers feed on Friday nights. You try and do a bump and run at Delaware, and you're going to trash some stuff if you're not profoundly careful. The risk is extremely high. At this track, because it is a smaller track, a bump and run, the consequences aren't quite as dire, let's say, in terms of having to slap a new clip on the car. It's a bit more forgiving. And I'm not encouraging the drivers to do that. I'm not saying we want you to do that if you're watching from home. What I'm saying is when the checkered flag, the white flag's full and the checkered flag is coming up next, and you've got that moment, I guess you get to make a decision how you want to race. And drivers decide both ways. Some drivers say, I would never do it. I would never do a bump and run. I will not do it. Some drivers go, I would never do it, but they grit their teeth and go, but checkered flag is in the balance, and I really want it, and I think I've got the car here tonight. And so it's a fine line the drivers have to run between the two. What are you willing to do to get the checker? I guess that's the question.
Heat race number 2 on a track, the 50 BT, that's Justin Culver. The 77 outside row 1, that's Exeter's Ryan McNichol. The 7 is Hannah Hamilton from Thetford. The 8, the 07, Aiden McNichol. The 22, that's Jordan Wilms from Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and Wilms is the points leader. Oh, there goes the 7.
Hamilton's around in the infield grass. The 43 is Jamie Bell from Park Hill, Ontario. Hamilton's down and away again.
Checking in with our leaders here, coming out of turn 2. Making their way now into turn 3, the 43, Jamie Ball, at least registered to the 43.
John, I don't have the 8 or 9 in the orange. Do you have it on Race Smarter? I don't have it on our sheets here.
I actually heard, I'm laughing a little bit, I heard Race Control pop on just before the race got underway, and they said, hey, 9 car, you gotta make sure that we've got you fully registered. So no doubt the vehicle was registered in the pits, but the information, it was probably a late registration, and so it just hasn't made its way up to the broadcast booth yet.
So the 50 BT, that's Justin Culver out front. 22 is Jordan Wilms, as John mentioned, the points leader. 77, Ryan McNichol in third. Watch those 2 lead cars, race fans. Watch the left rear tire in the corner here in turn 3. Almost comes right off. It comes right off the 22 as Wilms will drift through the corners, but you see it more here in turn number 1. Watch the Wilms machine. See that left rear tire right completely off the racetrack, cornering with 3 tires on that 22. White flag on the Speedway for the 50 BT. That's Justin Culver from Lucan, Ontario. Wilms in the second spot. McNichol in third. McNichol had to keep it off the wall there. Checker flag on the Speedway. The 50 of Justin Culver will take it.
Then Jordan Wilms, the points leader. 77, Ryan McNichol. And that wraps up competition. The bone stock drivers, I love bone stock drivers. They are a lot of fun. And we're just up here in the booth. If it seemed like I was called, I'm not trying to make excuses for my own incompetence here. So we're going through, and I'm looking at the racing monitor screen compared to what I'm seeing on the track, and the drivers' names aren't lining up, and the wrong guys are coming across. And I just heard through the glass, they said, I think those drivers switched transponders. And I think they did. So on each of these cars, for those who are new to racing, there's a little, for those who are old enough to remember what a pager looks like. If you're a kid, we'll say it's about the size of a cell phone, but really it looks like a pager. It's a pager-sized device that's mounted to the rear of the vehicle, and it emits a radio frequency that gets picked up by a cable that runs under the racetrack. We pick up that signal up here in the tower. That gives us electronic timing and scoring. That's how Grand Bend Speedway is able to get its results out so quickly after a race. It tells us lap times on every car, all this kinds of stuff. But the key is when the driver registers, they're given a transponder, and they say, okay, that's yours, put it on the car. If they accidentally trade transponders, so say they register 2 or even 3 cars at once and they maybe put them in their pocket, there's a huge risk that they simply put the wrong transponder on the car. I think some of the bone stocks did, so we'll get to sort that out during the intermission. Speaking of which, we are close to the intermission, but not yet. It's soon. Soon we'll be having the intermission, because first we've got to have the B main for these junior sprinters here on Action Trailers night.
All right, B main for the junior sprints, brought to you by Pinedale Motor Inn. 12 laps of scheduled distance. 98 out front, that is Bryson Fuller. Out of London, the orange number 9, Ethan Lloyd from London. The 15 is Petrolia's Paxton Bright. And the 13, Camlin Bright from Petrolia. 12 laps on the docket for the junior sprints B main, and you're going to give away some more stuff, John?
Well, it was just for Mrs. Gertz because she picked the wrong car back there in the thing. So here's your consolation prize. It's a cup. It's a koozie cup, which are great. You don't have any. Well, you could put it around this Pringles can, actually. It would keep that warm. But courtesy of Action Trailers there.
You got more hats to give away?
I do.
Well, she give another one. You haven't given away.
Well,
you couldn't give away the second hat because she didn't pick any of her family members.
Sponsor already got a hat.
You only gave away one hat. You have, what do you have, 15 in the booth?
No, I have like 3.
Oh,
we got
3.
We got to conserve a little bit.
That explains it. You came up with 6. 3 of them are going to your house, apparently.
No. I assure you, my household has enough motorsports-related hats kicking around after all these years. I'm still working off all these hats. Oh, so many hats.
White flag on the Speedway. They're going to try and condense this field as they can here.
And usually the B main is the younger drivers, the newer drivers to the division. Now, it didn't shake out that way a few weeks ago. We had some of the top runners actually had trouble in their heat races, ended up in the B main. But typically the B main is the idea behind it. It's a skill building thing. As the green flag drops, we're underway with the B main.
Oh, contact already. Fuller into the left rear of Ethan Lloyd, but Ethan keeps it going, and Fuller will grab the lead here. 12 laps of scheduled distance.
And we're still good. We're still green.
It's the 98 of Bryson Fuller out of London will lead lap 1. Ethan Lloyd in that 9 machine. And Paxton and Camlin Bright battling here for 3rd at the stripe. Coming up next, our Action Trailers intermission race. I believe we're having a race. A lot of the staff from Action Trailers, I believe, hopping in a pro kart. Should be interesting. That's right. I agree with you, Mr. Gertz. Uh-oh. Leaders coming up on the 15 here of Paxton Bright. They'll go to the high side of the 15. Fuller out front. Ethan Lloyd in 2nd spot. These drivers will be part of our junior sprint A main, of course. And they'll be leading off our second half of the program following intermission, the junior sprint A main.
Okay, hat inventory.
There we go. Let's hear it.
Oh, there's actually more here than I thought.
Exactly what I thought. See,
Yeah.
folks, I know what I'm talking
Well,
about.
it was camouflaged.
Yeah, camouflaged in your tote bag.
Well, no, they were all the black ones here. Like there was two colors. I didn't realize there was two colors. There's the tan ones and
all right, come give away a hat, John.
I think we're just gonna start throwing them at people, because now we got a bunch. That'll be fun. All right. I just like to make it interactive before we give things away. They were 5 laps to go. 4 laps now for the 98 of Bryson Fuller. Maybe I could give him the hat. Does a winner of a B main get a hat? Maybe. That might be fun. You know, it really sticks with kids. I remember I won only one heat race when I was a kid here at Grand Bend Speedway. I was usually racing over at Delaware, but I won one race at Grand Bend Speedway, and they gave me an Exide Batteries hat. And I still remember getting that hat. So I think I'm going to give him a hat. That'll be one hat. The rest will go to the fans. 2 laps to go. It's a signal that's been given to the drivers here. And the white flag flying here for the 98 Bryson Fuller. 1 lap to go. And then it'll be time for intermission, which also is going to include a kart race with the staff from Action Trailers.
Checkered flag in the air for the 98 of Bryson Fuller, taking the junior sprint B main. Here comes Ethan Lloyd in that 9. As we head into intermission here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Grand Bend Speedway. Here comes the 13 of Camlin Bright and the 15 of Paxton Bright as well to wrap up the junior B main.
And so again, don't forget, race fans, if you look over in turn 2, you'll see the Outside Groove Diner. That's where all the food's at. They got pizza down there. It's great. Just giving him a hat.
Yeah, I was saying you got to hustle. There's no interview scheduled with Bryson, so you're going to have to hustle to give him the hat.
So race fans, put your hands together for the 98 Bryson Fuller here. There you go, courtesy of Action Trailers.
John was mentioning about the diner just wall in turn number 2. We're going to have Action Trailers, a pro kart race here for you, part of our intermission, but feel free to stretch your legs, go over there, grab a drink, grab some food. Come back, enjoy the pro kart race, our second half of our program coming up.
Grand Bend Speedway is proud to be part of the Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series, along with over 50 tracks across North America. Promotional consideration for the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series is also provided by Whalen Engineering and CarQuest. For more information on the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series, visit the Weekly Series section at NASCAR.com. So Matt, who's up in the flag stand, Matt, in addition to helping out with our safety crew, he's also the flag man during the week for the go-karts. And so we shifted gears. Will, our NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series flag man, is getting his break in. So now it's going to be Matt up in the flag stand here. So out on the track right now, this is the staff from Action Trailers, today's sponsor at the Brad Clarke Memorial. So one of the fun things at Grand Bend Speedway, if you're a sponsor out here, sometimes we're able to put together a little go-kart race for you during the intermission. Now this is tricky. This is different than any other race we normally run. By the way, this is the intermission part of the show, so if you're taking a stretch or you want to go hit the outside Groove Diner, it is a great time to do that. They're going to let him rip here. And it's a timed race. It's a timed race for the Action Trailers crew. And these are the go-karts that we run out here each and every week. Oh, they're trying to give a little bump on the back straightaway there. I don't know if that's how we do it during the week. Here at the Action Trailers, the Action Trailers staff are going to be having a staff meeting after this one. It's the orange 64 out front, the white 52 up in second. I wonder who the boss is out there. I wonder which one is driven by the boss. Did they give the boss the fastest kart? Actually, they've done a lot of work to even out the karts this summer. Orange 64 leading the way. White 52 for second. The 67 runs third. Yellow. Learning my colors here. The yellow number 9, good in fourth. Blue 43 for fifth. Yeah, your battle is best battle on the racetrack. Actually, I would say probably is the lead battle. The 64, orange 64, being stalked by the white 52, who's closing up. You're watching the Action Trailers intermission race for the go-karts. This is the staff from Action Trailers on the track today. And again, these are the go-karts that we run here during the week. You can come and run them here during the week at Grand Bend Speedway as the number 52 closes up on the 64. Bring your family, bring your friends. These are the adult karts. They've also got some kids karts that don't run quite this speed and are double riders as well. You can have a kid rider and an adult rider in those karts. The 52 has caught the orange 64, but like a dog who caught a car, he doesn't know what to do with it. Once he caught him, all he does is keep hitting him on the back bumper, which is not going to be enough to complete a pass. You're going to have to find a lane there, man. Here in the intermission. There he goes to the inside. Finally, the 52 finds the lane on the orange 64. Completes the pass out of turn 4. The orange 64, though, still has the lane on the inside. The 52 did not slam the door. And they corner through the turn with the 64 coming back out on top. And still the 52 trying to make a go of it here. Gets to the inside again, gets a nose in there. Gonna fight back, try and get that top spot back. Here in the Action Trailers intermission race for the go-karts. 52 leads here at the line. The 64 trying to see if he can get the spot back. Side by side, out of turn 2, the 64 gets himself back out front. He really leans into the turns. He's got this kind of figured out a little bit. As the 52 now gets a nose to the inside. It's a timed race. And Matt up in the flag stand knows the time. These two out front have been in kind of a class of their own here. Let's check in out of turn 2. We've got the red 64 coming down the back straightaway. Also the yellow number 9, they're spread out pretty good. The best battle is out front here, turn 1 and 2. And now the 64 and the 52 side by side again down the back straightaway. The staff from Action Trailers having a spirited fight out front here in this one. And there's the white flag. Final lap signal has been given. So now the final lap signal has been given. They're coming around here for the final time. We'll see if the white 52's got anything left. Down the front straightaway, will it be a bump and run? It won't. The 64 takes it. 52 good for second. Checkers are out as the rest of the field funnels on in through to round out our competition here for the intermission show. So I'll come on down here with the hat cam and see who won. See if he'll come and see me. The Orange Crate 64. What's your name? Where are you from?
Brendan from Strathroy.
What's your job at Action Trailers?
I'm a service technician.
Okay, we were having an argument. Who was the boss? Which one of them was the boss?
Right behind me.
52, you beat the boss?
Yep.
Okay, your employment is terminated. All right, come, let's go talk to the boss. Congratulations. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Shane Thompson here from Kamoka, Ontario.
Shane, I knew you when I saw you there, but they don't know you, right?
No. But
You used to do a lot of racing out here. Tell us your memories at Grand Bend Speedway.
you know what? I grew up here probably from age 8, and I've been coming here since then, and obviously wanted to support the Brad Clarke Memorial. Brad was a huge inspiration to this whole series and obviously building this track, and that's one of the reasons why we always want to continue out sponsoring it and obviously bringing our staff here to have some fun as well.
And always kind of neat out on Highway 22. That's where a lot of the mini trucks were built, was actually out in that shop.
Exactly, yeah. So that's where it started off. The J-Car series is between Delaware and out in Strathroy, where we are right now, and it's something that's just neat to see and still see some of the same guys racing, and it's something that obviously makes me want to itch back into it, obviously being out here right now. So,
Shane, good to see you here tonight. Can this guy keep his job out front?
He's safe now, so yeah.
All right, I'll go let him know. I'll go. So, okay, so he says you can keep your job, okay?
Perfect.
All right, and you won a race. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the pro carts today for Action Trailers. There's the staff, and they're going to head back to the pits now. And so that'll do it for the intermission kart race. For folks watching at home, if you ever want to get your company involved and have your own intermission kart race at Grand Bend Speedway, pop us off a message, grandbendspeedway.ca. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll be back in action here in just a few minutes. Our first race up is going to be the Junior Sprint A main, as soon as those drivers are ready to rock and roll. Grand Bend Speedway is proud to be part of the Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series, along with over 50 tracks across North America. Promotional consideration for the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series is also provided by Whalen Engineering and CarQuest. For more information on the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series, visit the Weekly Series section at NASCAR.com. Huron Transfer Service late models bring the thrill of high-intensity late model racing to GBS as the track's top local division in the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series. Cobra tires help keep racing affordable and fair for drivers. Special thanks to Huron Transfer Service for their support, serving Central Huron and surrounding areas. Give them a call at 519-482-1100 to book your next ride. Dockstader Property Maintenance Bone Stocks provide a low-cost option for getting into full-size racing using cars that are readily available through scrapyards. Dockstader Property Maintenance provides lawn maintenance, snow, and ice control management for the Oneida Nation of the Thames, Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, Munsee Delaware Nation, Strathroy Caradoc Township, and South London. Robson Scrap Metal Mini Trucks are a classic half-scale division of racing at Grand Bend Speedway. Because of their size, the mini trucks turn Grand Bend Speedway from a short track into a full-throttle super speedway all the way around. A special thanks to Robson Scrap Metal, located on Carling Street in St. Mary's, for their support of the mini trucks. Grand Bend Home Hardware 9-horsepower Sprints are considered the original division of Grand Bend Speedway. Even before the track was expanded, the Sprints were running and providing amazing competition. McLean's Home Hardware is located in Grand Bend, with all you need to make your next home or garden project a success. The Pinedale Motor Inn Junior Sprints are the entry-level division for kids to get involved in racing. Open to drivers up to the age of 14, kids build their experience lap by lap. Pinedale Motor Inn is just a stone's throw away from the beaches of Grand Bend and the paths of Pinery Provincial Park. It's your cozy retreat after a sun-soaked Grand Bend day. For more information on any of these divisions, visit grandbendspeedway.ca. Special thanks to our supporters. Marbolt Fasteners, Strathroy. In a need-it-now world, nothing is worse than not being able to take your soybeans off, not finish a fabrication job, or even finish the bed frame for your family staying the weekend just because of a few bolts you couldn't find in town. With over 10,000 and growing different items in stock, we are your solution. Locally owned and operated, visit marbolt.com. Family owned and operated McCann Ready Mix has ready mix plants located in Mount Carmel, Exeter, Mitchell, and Watford. They offer a wide variety of other services ranging from concrete construction, excavation, aggregates, and drag lining. Marshman Engines has been a longtime supporter of competition at Grand Bend Speedway. Keith Marshman has been a trusted and reliable source for small engine repair, maintenance, and diagnostics. Thank you, Marshman Engines. Located in Exeter, Ontario, Country Corners is a family-run multi-line power sports dealership selling and servicing motorcycles, snowmobiles, ATVs, side-by-sides, e-bikes, tractors, and more. Visit them at countrycorners.net. Special thanks also to CarQuest Auto Parts Park Hill, Home Run Delivery, Lampton Sanitation, Stratford Auto Recycle. And we are back now for wrong division. Try again. We are back now for the Junior Sprinters. Sponsored by Pinedale Motor Inn. Again, the Junior Sprinters are the entry-level division here at the quarter-mile paved tri-oval at Grand Bend Speedway.
Yeah, good to see all the drivers in the A main here. Let's run you through who's on track. The 18H, that's Edwin Hyde out of Petrolia. The 98, Bryson Fuller from London. Watford's Landon Moore celebrating 13th birthday, I believe, today. Happy birthday to Landon Moore, driving at 39. Tyson Fusil from London in the 10. Ethan Lloyd from London in the 9. The 6X is Maxwell Lloyd from London. Blake Watson from West Lorne piloting that 2 car. Ryan Clarke in the 85 from Strathroy. Paisley Lamont from London in the 90. Gillian Collins from Petrolia in the 75. Also the 15, Paxton Bright. 13, Camlin Bright, both from Petrolia. And Maxon Desat in that 10X from Chatham, Ontario.
The Pinedale Motor and Junior Sprints are the entry-level division for kids to get involved in racing. Open to drivers up to the age of 14. Kids build their experience lap by lap at Grand Bend Speedway. Pinedale Motor Inn is just a stone's throw away from the beaches at Grand Bend, as well as the paths at Pinery Provincial Park. It's your cozy retreat after a sun-soaked Grand Bend day. For more information on any of our divisions, visit grandbendspeedway.ca.
20 laps the scheduled distance. Ryan Clarke will bring him to the line. Maxwell Lloyd outside row 1. Then it's the birthday Landon Moore and Watson row number 2. Green flag and rolling with the junior sprints. Good start for Maxwell Lloyd. Will grab the lead from Clarke into turn 1. A bunch of cars go high. Here comes Watson on the inside. Looks like Fuller almost got to the wall in turn number 2. Lloyd will grab the lead. Watson to the inside of Clarke for second. The 18H is Edwin Hyde. The 10 is Tyson Fusil. Contact there. 3 wide for the lead. Edwin Hyde will take advantage to the inside and will grab the lead from Watson. Lloyd trapped on the outside. Tyson Fusil right there in 4th.
You know, at the front of this pack, these are some of the top drivers of the junior sprint division, and they can mix it up pretty good up front and keep things pointed in the right direction. But ultimately, it is a kids racing program out there. Oh, the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd almost went around on his own. Hung on to it, though. Good getting up on the wheel there for the 6X. Still holds on to second. That was a real gift, though, for the 18H of Edwin Hyde.
Yeah, Lloyd, Fusil, and Watson were trapped 3 wide, getting into some backmarker traffic, allowed Edwin Hyde to get out of there. A huge lead for the 18H now. Watson to the inside of Fusil on the back stretch for the 3rd spot, and Blake will make that pass. Ryan Clarke rounding out the top 5 right now. Max and Desat in that 10X in 6th.
Purple number 2 trying to make a go over here. Oh, she got bouncy through the turn 2 there. And actually the 10 of Tyson Fusil ran into the back of her. That slowed him down. Now the 85 of Clarke is on the move and picking up a spot there. The 2 of Blake Watson, she's getting a run here now. The purple number 2 down the back straightaway to the inside of the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. She's trying to get herself up to 2nd place. She currently sits 2nd in the points.
Watson will grab that 2nd spot. Lloyd will drop to 3rd. Clarke remains in the 4th, followed by Fusil and Desat. Then it's Moore and Lamont. Watson, that left side tire is almost into the grass there through turns 1 and 2. Lost some momentum. Here comes Lloyd back on the outside, looking for that spot back. Edwin Hyde remains your leader.
Yeah, that battle for second, one to watch here. Out at turn 2, the 2 of Blake Watson's got the spot. 6X of Maxwell Lloyd had it. He would be trying to get it back.
Into some traffic on the front stretch. Ryan Clarke trying to track down that bow. Caution on the speedway.
Yeah, trouble on the back straightaway. One goes around back there. So that brings out our first caution. There's one stopped on the back straightaway. Philip gets a good zoom in there. I'll see who it was. Philip's our...
That's Landon Moore celebrating a 13th birthday today, John.
Safety crew is going to help him over the bump there.
Edwin Hyde, your leader. Watson in 2nd. Lloyd 3rd. Clarke 4th. Then Fusil and Desat. And Collins. That's your front 7.
So yeah, they're saying a solo spin there on the 39, so no other vehicles involved.
Just getting the order set. Looks like Ethan Lloyd's going to fall in behind Collins at 75. And then the 90 of Payson Lamont. No, Payson's going to be given a couple of spots. So Payson up to the 7th spot. Then it's Collins, Ethan Lloyd, Fuller.
Okay, Chris, you want me to give away a couple more hats?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
to
what's your
prevent
name?
you from taking any home.
What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Peyton, and I'm from Warwick.
Would you like this hat?
Sure.
But you already have a hat. You have a Blue Jays hat. It's wonderful. Why would you trade me for this hat?
Because it's my brother's birthday in 3 days.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay, well, there you go. Have an Action Trailers hat, and you can give him your Blue Jays hat for his birthday. Oh, no, that's too much. She says, no, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it.
White flag on the Speedway.
Oh,
No, it's a
there-
white flag. They thought they were going green here. They all went after it.
Oh, the kids program. You get us every time. Or did we get them?
I blame that on the race director.
Okay, this is perfect, though, because now I can go see the kid I gave the hat to. Okay, because the real trick was I was going to try and get you to throw the green flag on this race. That's why they botched it. You want to come throw a green flag?
Sure.
All right, well, kind of come up here. Wait for me! Wait for me! Oh, they're going to think you're rushing the track.
We're going to give Will and the flag stand some company here.
All right, I'll go first.
He doesn't know what's
and show the
happening
way.
yet, though. Race control telling the drivers to double up here. We Hyde and Watson in that front row, then Lloyd and Clarke row number 2, Fusil, Dessat row number 3, Lamont and Ethan Lloyd row 4, Moore and Fuller row number 5, then Killian Collinson at 75, and Camlin Bright and Paxton Bright.
Okay, Peyton, be careful with that flag. Last time they thought the white one was the green one. This one is the green one. Will's got his finger on the trigger for the lights. And here they come down the front straight. The green flag flies. We are racing. Great job, Peyton, our honorary starter.
Fusil went 3 wide to the inside of Lloyd trying to grab a spot. He'll grab 2 as Clarke drops. Oh, we got a spin. Ethan Lloyd's around in turn 2. Look out. Everybody have an eye. And caution on the Speedway.
Caution out on the track with vehicle stopped on the back straightaway there. Peyton, it wasn't your fault. You did a great job. You got them started. It's their job to stay started. That's the trick. So, safety crew will make quick work of getting that driver turned right ways right. So it sounds like the 90 was also involved. We're saying the 9 and the 90 are our 2 involved vehicles on that one, so they'll be dropping to the rear. Again, you're watching racing from Grand Bend Speedway here in Ontario, Canada. It's a very, very special welcome to anyone who's here for the very first time today. Today's racing is the Brad Clarke Memorial, sponsored by Action Trailers. I also want to thank a few of our other supporters: Home Run Delivery, Stratford Auto Recycling, Lambton Sanitation, Horton's Lakeshore Enterprises, as well as CarQuest and Park Hill, as well as RCM Racing Equipment, Excalibur Insurance, and Leaf Racewear. A couple of other sponsors we want to recognize: Marbolt Fasteners in Strathroy. In a need-it-now world, nothing is worse than not being able to take your soybeans off if you're a farmer, or not being able to finish a fabrication job, or even finish just the bed frame for your family that's staying over the weekend because you're just missing a few bolts that you couldn't find in town. Well, Marbolt Fasteners in Strathroy has you covered with over 10,000 and growing in different items in stock. They are your solution, locally owned and operated. Visit marbolt.com to learn more about Marbolt Fasteners.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to add a few more to that list. Want to thank Marshman Engines as well, Country Corners, McCann at Ready Mix, Stratford Auto Recycle, My FM Radio, both in Exeter, Grand Bend, and in Strathroy. Thank you to all of our sponsors for jumping on board this year.
Yeah, and speaking of Country Corners, they're located in Exeter. They're a family-run multi-line power sports dealership selling and servicing motorcycles, snowmobiles, ATVs, side-by-sides, e-bikes, tractors, and more. You can find them at countrycorners.net. Grand Bend Speedway is also proud to be part of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, along with 50 other tracks across North America. Promotional consideration for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series is also provided by Wheelan Engineering and CarQuest. If you're curious what Whelen Engineering does, if you look around this track, you see those bright yellow flashing caution lights. Well, they're produced by Whelen Engineering. They are awesome. They are, in my view, the gold standard of track safety lighting, and really pleased to have been able to get those installed this year. They're really, really helpful in having the drivers see when the caution's out.
And of course, I want to thank Pinedale Motor Inn, the sponsor of our junior sprint class here in 2025 as we get set for a restart.
So as the junior sprints get themselves in order, this is the part of the show where I humiliate myself by seeing how far I can throw a cup koozie. And the answer is probably not as far as you would think. Let's see. Look out! Oh, it fell short. Oh no, okay, I'll try again.
John, let me be honest with you for a second. That was pathetic.
Okay, I'll try again. I gotta ball it up. Look out! No, oh, it went far. That was good. Had a little arc.
That was better, yeah.
I think
Peyton got that one.
I think it's actually less is more. I think it's an aerodynamics
How about
issue.
like a Frisbee?
That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm just doing it wrong. Are you ready? You ready? This guy's on his phone. I'm going to throw it right at him. Look out! Whoa, look at it go. Almost landed in the stroller. Why is nobody... Don't all rush for it at once. Don't all rush for it at once. I wonder if it works the same twice. Look out! Perfect flow.
Those of you looking to get into the sport of disc golf, John is teaching over the winter.
Okay, let's just try one more. Maybe it'll... If I think it's the wind. Okay, here we go. Look out! Oh, no!
Yeah, well done. Well done. Now we got a caution for your debris. That's perfect. Did we get that on live stream? Oh, we got to have that on live stream. Did we get that? Oh, we didn't get... there you go. You go out and get that yourself and be ashamed of yourself. You sit in the penalty blocks and feel shame.
I'm going to go...
Yeah. Hey, Will in the flag stand, if you can hear me, tell Race Control why he's on the track. That'd be awesome.
If you wonder why I'm running, it's because last time they thought the white flag was the green flag, and I don't know what color I am today.
Let's keep the souvenirs away from John Houghton. What do you say?
You know, Chris, you and I have been racing for a lot of years. I think that's the first time I've ever drawn a caution.
I think you're right. That's the first time I've seen it. That was a good toss, though. I'll give you that.
It's the wind. It was the wind. Down the front straight, the green flag set to fly, and we're racing.
3 wide, looking, no. Lloyd will shut the door on Fusil into turn 1. It's high to the lead. Watson on the outside. Here comes a run by Ryan Clarke at 85 on the outside. Landon Moore trying to follow that 85 on the high side. Halfway this time by. 10 down, 10 to go. It's Hyde and Watson, Lloyd, Clarke, your front 4. Landon Moore with a great restart, but Fusil trying to fight back. Lloyd got loose in turn number 2, lost momentum, and Clarke now to 3rd. Edwin Hyde and Blake Watson, your front 2. Clarke, Lloyd, Fusil, your top 5. Then it's Moore, Fuller, Ethan Lloyd, Dessat. And the leader is now coming through turns 3 and 4. Watson all over Edwin Hyde here. Ryan Clarke trying to get up there. Front 5 have gotten away from the rest of the field, as Hyde will bring that train out of turn 4 to complete another lap. Down the back, Hyde, Watson, Clarke, and we got Ethan Lloyd in the infield in turn number 1. Might have a caution here, we'll wait and see. Still green on the racetrack. No, we're gonna throw the caution.
Yeah, there's the caution. Okay, I'm feeling smarter this time.
I was going to say, this is a perfect time for you to throw some more souvenirs. It's quickly becoming the highlight of my afternoon, watching you throw stuff.
Because now if I throw it now and it lands on the racetrack, there's still time for me to clean it up without having to delay the race. All right.
Yeah, maybe let's try not to do that.
Okay, here we go. They're not looking. Look out! That's not enough. Oh! It's like that baseball game that was on the internet where anyway. Okay, we'll see. You got to be fast. Look out! Oh, he caught her right out of the air. You saved her. You saved her. Wow. And there was a child too. That's great. No injuries. Look out! And then, but I'm not going to throw it at this person, but I feel like people at the end always get left out. So I'm going to go down all the way to turn 1. Who's the last person? The last person, and you've even got a can. You can put it in, and it'll be cool. All right, look out. You looked, yeah, you have to chase that down. I'm sorry. It's been an embarrassing day for my arms.
Those of our viewers on Checkered Flag Media, you're missing some good stuff. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, did we get the sprinters sorted out yet? I was out of range of the speakers there for a moment.
I was just saying to our viewers online, John, they had a really good treat missing what you were doing there. Caution still on the Speedway. I think the order might be set here. I think we might double up here on the back maybe. Yeah, the call to double up. Hyde, Watson, row number 1, and it's Clarke and Lloyd, row number 2. Fusil and Moore, row number 3. Then it's Fuller and Dessat, Ethan Lloyd, Collins, Lamont, and then Paxton and Camlin Bright. Late in the second half of this 20-lap feature here for the Pinedale Motor Inn Junior Sprints, and Hyde will bring him to the line. Out of turn 4, green flag waves. What a start by Watson. And Blake's going to grab the lead into turn 1 here, I think. And Blake Watson out front. Hyde will hold on to second spot. And Lloyd now up to third. Fusil up to fourth as Clarke drops a couple spots on the restart.
So your running order looks like this. The 2 of Blake Watson, your leader. The 18H of Edwin Hyde falls to second. The 6X of Maxwell Lloyd fighting tooth and nail here with the 10 of Tyson Fusil for the third place spot. The 85 of Ryan Clarke also up into the party for that group. But the laps are running down. It'll be 5 laps to go this time by at the stripe for the purple number 2 of Blake Watson. She got a feature race win earlier this year. That was her first ever feature race win here, coming into the late part of the season, trying to get a second feature race win. Maybe the start of some good momentum here towards the end of the season.
Yeah, pretty good restart for Blake on that last restart. The 18H started a little slow, and the 2 was able to take advantage. Now Lloyd pressuring Edwin Hyde to the outside for that second spot. Leaders working turns 3 and 4 here. 2 to go at the line for the 2 of Blake Watson. Hotly contested second position, Hyde, and the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. Fusil runs in 4th, Ryan Clarke in 5th. Here comes Blake around turn number 4 to grab the white flag. And white flag on the Speedway for Blake Watson at 2. A healthy lead, just has to complete another complete lap here. On to the back. One more time, we're onto the high side of Collins through turns 3 and 4. On a great restart, Watson's going to grab the lead and finish it off. Checkered flag for the 2 of Blake Watson, followed by Hyde, Lloyd, Fusil, and Clarke. Moore, Dessat, Fuller, Lamont, Ethan Lloyd, Collins, and Camlin Bright, Paxton Bright. And we're going to get our podium finishers to the front stretch here to grab some words with John Houghton.
And we'll come on down live here with the hat cam, the good old hat cam. As they were pointing out earlier, they were saying when you're throwing those hats into the grandstands, make sure you don't accidentally throw the hat cam. And we'll just wait for the last to funnel on in through. Okay. the Brad Clarke Memorial, sponsored by Action Trailers. Race fans, put your hands together. It's the 2 of Blake Watson, your winner. Okay, someone's going to have to hold that. There we are. Okay. Okay, Blake, come on around here. Blake, congratulations. Second feature race win of the year. Hard-fought win for you tonight.
Yeah, started the race, just real messy here. Turn 2 was incredibly loose, got caught in a few just about wrecks, but kept her straight and ended up with a victory here at Grand Bend Speedway.
Who do you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank my mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, Dave Simmons Automotive, Derek's Mowers and Blowers, Any Electric, the track, Gordon and Tabitha for running the track, the fans, and for coming out tonight.
Race fans, put your hands together. It's the 2 of Blake Watson. 18H Edwin Hyde, another strong run tonight here.
Yeah.
Who do you want to thank this afternoon?
I want to thank District Beta, Christian over here. He's from District Beta. I thought that it was a great race for this Brad Clarke Memorial, and I'm hoping that we can have some more. Last week of the season is next week, so I hope we can have a great race next week.
Race fans, that's the 18H of Edwin Hyde, your second place runner tonight. Third place, the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. Maxwell, this thing looks like it's been a real handful for you tonight.
Yeah, it's a really loose car tonight. We had to loosen it up for how tight the track was going to be, and it didn't look like it went good for us.
Who do you want to thank this afternoon?
I'd like to thank my family, Custom Fluid Power Inc., London Drive System, Williams Mobile Service, IFH Designs, In-Floor Heating, and the track for letting us race here tonight.
Race fans, round of applause for all of our top 3 here in the Pinedale Motor and Junior Sprints at the Brad Clarke Memorial, presented by Action Trailers. Mini trucks up next, sponsored by Robson Scrap Metal. Oh, correction. It's the 9-horsepower Sprinters are up next, sponsored by Home Hardware. Chris, do you want to get your throwing arm on? Huh? Want to get your throwing arm on? No? No? I've got all these hats, though. They're much, you know, I don't think one of these would land on the racetrack. You'd be all right. Oh, you know the real trick? I should find a kid to throw them for me.
How could I possibly surpass your performance, John? I'm not even going to try.
It would be impossible. You would have to draw at least 2 cautions to surpass my performance.
But you should give away some more hats for sure. What do we have in the flag stand?
Well,
John?
this is Sue Beneteau, her husband Brad, The race is being held in honor of him. And then is the little baby up there too? Yeah, the little baby's up there. And so Brad's son, Mike Beneteau, he's been off this year because they had the baby. And there's the baby in the grandstand, or not the grandstand, in the flag stand, throwing the green flag here. So Dad's in the race, and the race being held in honor of Grandpa. And so what a wonderful thing to see the Beneteau family out today for the Brad Clarke Memorial. So give them a wave here as they come on past the grandstand here, folks.
John, bring a hat out here. I got one to give away.
You want to give away a little hat?
Yeah, we have another
okay
in the crowd.
I'll throw it to you. Oh, there's a kid up here, too.
Yes, Caden is celebrating his 5th birthday tonight.
And you don't have a
John.
hat. You're getting a sunburn. Now you're not. That's great.
Happy birthday, Caden. Welcome.
White flag flies with the Beneteau family up in the grandstand here at the Brad Clarke Memorial. Really looking forward to seeing this race. This is going to be a cool one here. The 12 of Gareth McLean up on the front row. 90 of Keegan Lamont outside of row number 1. 9 horsepower sprints. Let's set them loose. Sponsored by Home Hardware. We're racing down the front straightaway. And a hungry group of drivers working out at turn 2. The 12 of McLean off to a good start there. Holds on to that lead off the initial start. But Beneteau already going to work here in the 33. He's trying to get out front in Dad's race here. And he does. New leader out front, Mike Beneteau, but the 12 of McLean fighting back on the inside. Gets the spot back. And I think the dance has begun. The 33 of Beneteau and the 12 of McLean now locked in a huge fight at the front of this field.
Genesee Jr. in the 3rd spot. Lamont 4th. Nethercott 5th. Carter Nick. Oh, we got Pauli in the outside wall of turn 2. Hard hit there.
45, Trevor Pauli.
Yep, as the car will drift just to the inside. Anthony Pauli in that 45. Is it Anthony or Trevor? I have Anthony or John.
And that one, it should be, that's Anthony out there. Sorry, did I say Trevor? Trevor's dad, I think. So Anthony in the 45 on the back straightaway there. Okay, who feels like they're getting a sunburn? You already got your koozie. What are you mad about? Pick a winner if you want a hat. You pick it. Oh, think your nephew. Ow! You already got your free stuff. That kid doesn't have a hat. That's not gonna work. Where are you guys from?
Forest.
Okay, you rooting for anyone out there tonight? Did you just show up or?
44.
Okay, so you're the Nethercott crew. Okay, cool. And now you're the Action Trailers crew. Okay, cool. There, that's better. Now you're not gonna take home, you know, the ultimate racetrack souvenir is definitely a sunburn. But now you won't, it's too big. Well, it's a good thing. These are adjustable hats. What are you guys up to? Oh, you're looking for a hat? Okay, I'll make you a deal. Do you want an action? Wait, I already gave you ice cream though. I was gonna say, do you want a hat or you want ice cream? So I guess you're just gonna get the hat. How was the ice cream?
Good.
Good. What flavor did you guys get? I think it was blue.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
It is on your face. Was it good? Oh, he's nodding. Yes, it was the Cookie Monster one, right? Yeah, everyone keeps ordering Cookie Monster. It's a good flavor. My kids love it. Okay, who's my last person who didn't bring a hat today? Who didn't bring a hat? You didn't bring. You don't seem to have a hat. You don't have a hat. Where's your hat? You want a hat? Where's your hat at? Okay, well, there you go. Put on a hat. And then say thanks, Action Trailers.
Race fans, Anthony Paulai coming across the front stretch. Give him a hand for his participation this afternoon. McLean will be your leader for the restart. Then Beneteau, Janice Jr., Lamont, Nethercott, Nickel, and Rose Cole.
Oh, I was going to say you're drinking a root beer here, but you don't have a koozie, but you already have a koozie. Here, puff a second koozie.
My name is Ted Clarke.
Oh, hey, Ted. You're Brad's dad, right?
Yes, sir. I'm Brad's dad.
Okay, I see the resemblance, actually. I was sitting there looking at you, and I feel like I know this guy. All right, well, good to see you out here for the Brad Clarke Memorial, right?
Good to be here. Great to see this track. Looks a lot different now, and it's getting better all the time. But I was really proud of my son because he used to train these young fellas to be race car drivers. And the reason he was into race cars strictly is because of me. I'm a race car nut.
Well, it's good to see you got the vintage Grand Bend Speedway jacket here.
And my brother-in-law used to own Checker Flag.
Oh, right on. So out in Windsor, right?
Windsor, Ontario had 5 tracks. We don't have none now.
Oh, we got one. I got one in front of me here.
Yeah, we got Grand Bend. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
There's still some great tracks in the region. Ted, great to see you.
Nice seeing you. Nice.
Ted Clarke, Brad's dad, out here for the Brad Clarke Memorial. Has such kind things to say about the state of the facility. We've been working really hard out here. You know, I'll tell one story for Ted. Ted got away from me, but you know, a number of years ago, the year before Brad passed, actually, he brought me out here and he took me for a drive around the track, and it was before they flipped everything over to this side, and he was very proud of the work that was being done at that time, and so we're very blessed to be able to continue sort of what the vision was, because he definitely had a vision for what he was trying to accomplish out here. And I remember, you know, even talking, we had the Jared Dockstader Memorial a few weeks back, and Jared there was all sort of the same thing, is everyone had this vision, but it was a vision that was going to take many years to sort of realize, and we'd like to think at Grand Bend that we're getting closer to achieving the vision that guys like Jared and guys like Brad were laying out, and so we keep working at it, and week by week, lap by lap, you know, even just the few years I've been here, I've seen tremendous progress in a lot of the programs that Brad was working on, even years ago. So cool to see.
So the clock was on the 45. I'm not sure the 45 is going to make the call. They've been asked to double up, and they're going to get the white this time by. It'll be McLean in the 12, Veneto in that outside 33. Janice Jr. Lamont, row number 2. Nethercott Nickel in row number 3, and then Andrew Rose Cole in that 88. Coming around to take green here, 9 horsepower sprint feature. Green flag. Good start by Beneteau. McLean trying to fight back on the inside. Being pushed into the corner by Janice Jr. And McLean will lead down the back. Nice run by Lamont in that 90. Look out. Outside to the inside. Had to check up as Beneteau came down. And now Beneteau will go to the inside of the 12. McLean for the lead. Crossover coming by the green 12 of McLean. And back out in front goes the 12.
Side by side for the lead goes the 33 of Beneteau. The 12 of McLean slides to second. Beneteau now back out front. And a little bit of bumper bars being used out there in turn 3. Tight battle at the front of this one, though. Wheel to wheel goes the 12 of McLean, the 33 of Beneteau. Cross downs to the inside, across the front of the 90. There goes the 90 of Keegan Lamont to the front of the field. 3 wide for second.
That was unbelievable. Janice Jr. Contact Beneteau and Nethercott into the infield. And Nethercott in the 44, Beneteau in the 33 will bring out caution. That last lap was nothing but crazy stuff.
That was chaos. Absolute chaos there. Coming out of turn 4. We'll check on the replay here in a moment and see if we caught it. Let's check good old Cam 2 here and see what Cam 2 shows us. Well, I think we might have caught the end of it here. we might have caught it. We'll see here. Replay. Oh, no, we missed it. I'm not as quick as John Paul on the button. That's my great regret. John Paul, if you're watching from home, John Paul, our regular operator, Philip would have caught that. There's a trick. See, the keyboard's in with me. If it had been up with Philip, he would have caught it.
That started in turn number 1. Beneteau into the back of the 12 sent McLean really loose up the hill. And they continue to kind of bounce off each other. And then Lamont with a great run out of turn 2. And Janice Jr. following him through to the top 2 spots. But they're going to give McLean the spot back. It's the last completed green flag lap. That's the order they'll restart in. So McLean gets the lead back. Pushing Lamont to second, Janice Jr. to third.
So moments away from getting back underway with the 9 horsepower sprinters. Double up signal has been given 2 by 2 all the way through. White flag flies. When they take the green flag, it'll be 21 laps to go in the 25 lap feature race. You're watching the 9 horsepower sprinter sponsored by Grand Bend Home Hardware. At the Brad Clarke Memorial, sponsored by Action Trailers. And down the front straight with the green flag flies. We're racing once again with the 9 horsepower sprinters.
Beneteau with a sharp move to the inside of Cole will grab a spot on the restart. They're all bunched up out of turn number 4. McLean, Janice Jr. in that 13, Lamont in the 90. Beneteau is up another spot to 4th now. Lamont will grab the lead. McLean to the inside, can't do it. Lamont will lead through turns 3 and 4.
This is where it gets pretty dicey out there with these 9 horsepower sprinters. We're late in the season. Everybody's got their stuff together. The competition now very balanced. And so they're stuck together like glue out there. Beneteau in the 33 pushing here to get his way up to second, gets underneath the 13 of Janice Jr., takes the spot. That's good for second. But now Janice Jr., the 13, fights back on the inside. And the 44 of Nethercott is up in that group as well. This is for 3rd place. But the whole field, very in contact between Beneteau and the 44, draws the still green on the racetrack at the moment. We'll see if Beneteau can, the 44 Nethercott can get it down. He does. We stay green on the racetrack. 90 of Lamont, your leader. 13 of Janice Jr. for second. The leader is now coming up on the 44 of Nethercott as he tries to get himself back up to speed. But he's slow on the front straightaway. Something may be wrong on the 44. We might see him pull off the track here because he's definitely not up to speed and having trouble getting up to speed. And he does retire and makes the right-hand turn off the track. We stay green on the track. The 90 of Lamont, your leader. The 13 of Janice Jr., second. 12 is Gareth McLean. All of this there has allowed the front group here to spread itself out. We got 2 by 2 by 1. A pair of 2 at the front. This battle for 3rd and 4th.
Nickel to the inside of McLean for the 3rd spot in that 33. McLean trying to crossover, come back the other way. And on the inside, Groove's going to stay there to the inside of Nickel. And they'll go side by side for the lead as well. Janice Jr. will grab the lead in turn 1.
A very dynamic race for the 9 horsepower sprinters. Back and forth for 1st and 2nd, back and forth for 3rd and 4th. Your leader is the 13 of Ray Janice Jr. there at the stripe. The 90 of Keegan Lamont still trying to make it happen. 12 of McLean and the 33 of McNichol locked into a battle that's again for 3rd and 4th. And the 33 BC of Mike Beneteau trying to get back up into the mix here. There goes Beneteau down to the inside, trying to make a move now on the 12. Or rather, he made the move on the 33 of Carter Nickel, completed that pass, now going to work on the 12 of Gareth McLean.
Yeah, Nickel trying to follow him through as McLean's on the high groove, and Carter's going to be able to grab a spot. Side-by-side battle for the lead in turn one. Lamont will retake it. Dropping Janice Jr. to second spot. The front two gotten away by almost about a half a straightaway on Beneteau now in third.
Laps ticking down, 9 laps to go here at the stripe for the 90 of Lamont, the 13 of Janice Jr. Meanwhile, further on back, the 33 BC of Beneteau just about lost the spot to the 12 of Gareth McLean. McLean falling back a little bit. Battle for the lead continues. The 13 of Janice Jr. and the 90 of Keegan Lamont still fighting it out. The spot right now belongs to the 13 of Janice Jr.
Well, Lamont back to the inside will retake the lead. Janice Jr. can't do the crossover, remains on the high side. Keegan Lamont back out in front. Front two by about a half a straightaway on third place Beneteau. Then it's Nickel, McLean, and Rose Cole. Now McLean to the inside of Nickel for the fourth position. Almost contact with Beneteau. Rose Cole almost around. Lamont fighting off the attack by Janice Jr. will claim the lead. McLean up to third. Now Beneteau back to the inside. Now Rose Cole decides to make a move on Nickel. Rose Cole will stay to the inside of the 12 as well and grab 2 spots. So Rose Cole up to the 4th spot now. Keegan Lamont continues to lead from Janice Jr. As Ray looks to the inside, still a healthy lead on that third place battle. Rose Cole got by Beneteau. Now Beneteau will fight back on the inside. And Rose Cole will fight him off. 2 to go this time by for your leader, Keegan Lamont. Trying to protect from Janice Jr. in a 4-car battle for third. Out of turn 2, down the back. Rose Cole's kind of gotten away from that battle now, alone in third. Here they come to take the white. Janice Jr. trying to attack Keegan Lamont, the Department of Defense here, with a lap to go.
Keegan Lamont would love to get this win this afternoon. Half a lap to go. The 13 of Janice Jr. is right there. He's going to look down to the inside, but the white flag is already flying at the line. It'll be the 90 of Keegan Lamont. 90 is the winner, Keegan Lamont. Janice Jr. gave him a bit of a run for his money, I tell you.
Look how happy Keegan was in that cockpit down the backstretch, fist pumping all the way down the backstretch, excited for this win.
Well, he's wanted this for a long time. This has been a while coming, so, and a hard-fought one. Wow. As we carefully come down to the front stretch here, the Brad Clarke Memorial presented by Action Trailers and an amazing finish. Keegan Lamont, our winner. And he's got a lot of safety equipment here to pull off. Here he comes out of the car. Put a flag in his hands. Give it a wave there. Keegan, you're a winner. And the whole hardware 9 horsepower sprinters. Hop on down. Come on down here. The 90 of Keegan Lamont, you are our winner. How does it feel to get to victory lane?
Good.
How good?
Really good.
Really good. You've been working for a long time for this, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the struggles to get to victory lane.
We had motor problems, everything. Couldn't get it running right. Got into an accident when we got it running right. Then another one, and the motor was capooched. Able to fix it, and now my car's here.
Who do you want to thank this afternoon?
My nanny and papa, my friends, my mom and dad, and Auto Fusion Towing, Leaf Racewear, Stickers and Scuff, Do It for Dale promos, and Claim Lane Home Hardware.
Right, so let's put your hands together for the 90. Keegan Lamont, your winner here in the 9-horsepower sprinters. We're here at the Brad Clarke Memorial. Ray Janice Jr., almost the winner today by a few inches.
Yeah, it was a pretty close one. It was a tight battle between me and Keegan there. He's doing good. He's coming up in this series, and he's doing a great job.
Who do you want to thank this afternoon?
I'd like to thank everybody who came out for the memorial, everybody who supports this track, everybody who supports all the racers, the BC team, the Brad Clarke Racing team. They're awesome guys. This is one of their carts. They just let me drive it, and I appreciate all of what they do. We're a great team, and we work together, and all their sponsors, and it was just, we put on a good show for you guys.
Race fans, put your hands together for the 13, Ray Janice Jr., Andrew Rose Cole. I guess you must have got him there at the end.
Not really. I actually finished 6th. I didn't start the first couple laps of the race, but this thing was pretty fast, except for a little push out of 2. But pretty good kart.
All right, Andrew Rose Cole in the 88. Oh, it was an off mic moment, but I think it's worth. I said, wait a minute. If you finished 6th, what are you doing up here? And I think you said, correct me if I'm wrong, you said something in fact, well, I'm glad I finished. It felt like a win.
It's pretty good.
Okay, Andrew Roscoe just wanted to come to victory lane. I felt like I was confused, and maybe I'm still confused, but that's just a regular old Sunday afternoon for this announcer. Back up to you, Chris. All new at Grand Bend Speedway in 2025 is the Cobra Tire Cup Series, a 5-race series running on selected Sundays throughout the summer, with the season finale being held on a special 1-mile super speedway course behind the traditional Grand Bend quarter mile. Visit grandbendspeedway.ca for more details. Grand Bend family go-karts are open daily at Grand Bend Speedway. Bring your family or bring your friends and take to the track this summer. No visit to the Grand Bend area is complete without a visit to Grand Bend Speedway family go-karts. The Outside Groove Diner food court is open daily with Grand Bend Speedway family go-karts and at all Grand Bend Speedway racing events. Enjoy hard-serve ice cream, subs, pizza, nachos, and more. Featuring a great view of the pits on race night and a live broadcast of the evening's races, be sure to stop by the Outside Groove Diner anytime you're at the track. For a full schedule of events, visit grandbendspeedway.ca.
Ilderton, the 18 is feature race 1 winner Quinn Gertz from Ilderton. Number 2 is Malachi Busing from Strathroy. 15, that's Acacia Zimic from Melbourne. The 49 is Hayden Sim from Kamoka. The 4 is Glencoe's Dylan Graham. The 11, Colin Klumper from Mitchell. And the 18H, that's Petrolia's Edwin Hyde. 20 laps the scheduled distance here for the mini trucks.
This is going to be one to watch, though. These mini trucks, you remember feature race number 1 tonight was a real barn burner. And I think we're set for another one here. The Brad Clarke Memorial presented by Action Trailers.
They're going to double them up here. They get the white this time by it's Mason Culver at 22, Caleb Gertz at 19, front row. And it's Thus and Sim, row number 2. Quinn Gertz and Busink in row number 3.
So hold on to those hats we've been giving away because the mini trucks are going to be taking the green flag this time by, sponsored by Robson Scrap Metals. The 22 of Mason Culver leads us to the green flag. We're underway. Takes them a couple laps to get up to full speed here.
Quinn Gertz and his tires on the grass, trying to make a move here. Trying to go 3 wide, still down there. And we'll grab a couple spots. Caleb Gertz trying to grab the lead. And we'll grab the lead. Culver to second. Thus trying to pin Quinn Gertz down on the inside. And Sim there as well.
So your running order looks like this. The 19 of Caleb Gertz has made his way out front. The 22 of Mason Culver, who struggled in race number 1, now holds on to second. Watch this big group here, right at the start-finish line right now. The 18H of Edwin Hyde is in that group, along with the number 2 of Malachi Busink. And the 11 of Colin Klumper. It's a back-of-the-pack battle, but it's a fierce one. Leader continues to be the 18 of Caleb Gertz out front.
Quinn Gertz has caught that 22 of Culver. Will go to the inside of Culver, and Quinn will grab that second spot.
Yeah,
Just trying to come through.
Yeah, just coming out here at the start-finish line. The 18 now of Quinn Gertz up to second. You got the green 18 in second place, the 22 of Mason Culver in the red and black machine, 53 of Nick Thus, looking pretty hungry there. Might have gave him a little bit of a bumper shot to the 22 of Mason Culver. But the trucks have got themselves out to a pretty good spread here. They started off in that tight pack.
Yeah, Caleb Gertz wants to see nothing but green on this racetrack. Has a pretty good lead and a pretty fast truck.
Well, his cousin took the checkered flag in race number 1, the 20-lapper earlier on this afternoon. And he'd love to bring one home for himself here this afternoon. The 18 of Caleb Gertz, sorry, the 19 rather, Caleb Gertz continuing to lead 18, Quinn Gertz for second. Watch this third place battle going into turn 1. The 4 of Dylan Graham suddenly up into the mix out of turn 2, trying to chase down the 53 of Nick Thuss. The 22 of Mason Culver falls back. So you see a little shake up in the order there. Dylan Graham now up to 4th, Culver to 5th. Nick Thuss still holding down the 3rd place spot in the black 53. Then just behind that, going to turn 1 right now, the black 43 and the blue 15 of Keisha Zimick. This is also a pretty fierce battle. They're just going into turn 3 right now. But at the start-finish line, the 4 of Dylan Graham just keeping right locked on to the black 53 of Nick Thuss. The leader at the start-finish line now. But that does seem to be quite the battle to watch there.
Zimick passes Sim for the 6th spot, so the 15 truck up a spot. Meanwhile, Graham continues to attack that 53 of Nick Thuss. Oh, Busick almost around in that white and blue truck, but kept it straight. As Caleb Gertz continues to lead cousin Quinn here. But traffic straight away. Two to go this time by, half a mile for the 19 of Caleb Gertz. Trying to go non-stop, no caution here in the free, and he wants the right flag. Is he going to get it this time? Caleb Gertz, Quinn Gertz, your top 2. Nick Thuss in the 3rd spot, holding off Graham. Down the backstretch another time. And these trucks racing well, caution free out of turn 4. Checkered flag, Caleb Gertz will win it. Followed by Quinn Gertz, and Thuss will come home 3rd. Then it's Graham and Culver, your top 5. Zimick after that, then Carson Sim, Hayden Sim, Edwin Hyde, Klumper, and Malachi Busick. And we're going to take it down trackside momentarily. John will speak to our podium finishers here from the mini truck class.
Caleb Gertz hopping out of the car. I'm down here with the Gertz crew. It must be really hard that your favorite driver, the 4 of Dylan Graham's, not here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, excuse me, sorry. That must be really hard for them. Caleb Gertz down here. Put your hands together, race fans, your winner. Well, your cousin got one. You got the other one, so I guess it's a Gertz day.
Yeah, it all worked out, and in the end, really happy with the truck today. It really put on a show, I think, and it was really great having all these trucks here for the Brad Clarke Memorial, and yeah, I couldn't ask more of the truck, and really proud of my team.
When you roll out of bed in the morning, instead of saying it's going to be a great day, do you say it's going to be a Gertz day?
I did not say it's going to be a Gertz day, but maybe I should.
All right, well, it's a Gertz day today. Anyone to thank today?
I want to thank Fulton J Financial, Jay, House to Home, my mom, my dad, everyone who supports me, my grandma, Aunt Laura, yeah, basically everyone who comes out and watches. It's really great, and thanks to the Clarke family for being here.
Very good. That's the 19 of Caleb Gertz. Rapid fire. Quinn, who do you want to thank today?
I'd like to thank Fulton J Financial, Action Trailers, Brad Clarke, and House to Homes.
Your feature race number 1 winner, runner-up in race number 2, Nick Thuss. Congratulations, 3rd place run tonight.
Thank you. It was a good run. Couldn't really get caught up to Quinn there, but just did the best with what we had.
Who do you want to thank?
I got to thank all my sponsors, Dorman Bros Barn Equipment, Rombouts Excavating, Hardy Creek Farms, SJ Garden Sheds, VDM Farms, LaSalle Pork, Brody Seed with Mazex. I got to thank my papa for painting the truck. I got to thank my dad, Dion Verhoeven, Daryl Lyman, my mom, everyone else who helps me on the truck. It's awesome. Thank you.
That's Nick Thuss in the 53, our third place runner tonight. That'll do it for down here with the mini trucks. That low rumble can only mean one thing. It's time for late model action. Sponsored by Huron Taxi Service. Race fans, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the starting lineup for the Huron Taxi Service late models. Car number 25 is the current points leader in the Huron Taxi Service late models. That's Ryland Fashion Auto. The 92 on the high side, that's going to be Dwayne Horton. Inside row number 3, the 77 is Jeremy Curtis. The 99 is Jaden Chapman, and the 1 is Jonathan Schwemmler as the green flag flies, and we're underway with the Huron Taxi Service late models. The 25, the points leader, Ryland Fascinato, gets beat to turn 3 by the 92 of Dwayne Horton, who washes up the racetrack, pedal to the metal, down the front stretch as they try to get to full speed. Dwayne Horton in the 92, your leader, the 25, Ryland Fascinato, doesn't seem to quite be getting up to full speed here as the 92 of Horton running away, and now the 77 of Jeremy Curtis looking up to the high side there, 2 by 2 at the back of the group. 77 of Curtis breaks free of the 25 of Ryland Fascinato. He's got some open racetrack ahead of him here, pedal to the metal as he heads to the third turn. The fight continues through turns 3 and 4. The 25 of Ryland Fascinato is dropping like a rock. We'll see if he can't get a little bit of heat in those tires and see if he can hold off a charging 99 of now Jaden Chapman. The 1 of Jonathan Schwemmler struggled in heat race competition earlier. And we'll see if he can break free of this group here. Dwayne Horton, the 92, though, he's got that beast working really well out front. As he is checking out, but the fight is on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I think the question here, I feel like the 1 of Schwemmler is just sort of caught in this traffic here, like a caged dog waiting to get set free. The 99 of Chapman gets around the purple 25, and the 1 of Schwemmler makes quick work now. And now he's got some open racetrack ahead of him here. You know, it's one thing to try to knock off a car one at a time as you're trying to make a pass, but Schwemmler there was had them fighting 2 wide in front of him there, and that's hard traffic to fight your way through, especially early in the race. 35 laps, though it is a longer event. So we'll see if the 1 of Schwemmler, now that he's broken free, is able to make anything of it. The 92 is your leader. That's Dwayne Horton in the Horton's Lakeshore Enterprises entry. He's being chased down now by the 77 of Jeremy Curtis. Just watching on the charts, the 1 of Schwemmler just ran his fastest lap of the race. You know, it's interesting to see actually on the timing and scoring system. So the 99 of Chapman and the 1 of Schwemmler have both just run their fastest laps of the race late here in the event, or early in the event. Correction, let me get that straight. So the drivers out front, the 92 and the 77, ran their fastest laps earlier in this race, back on laps 5 and lap number 7. Drivers towards the back, the 99 of Chapman and the 1 of Schwemmler, have been, Schwemmler just ran his fastest lap of the race just now. And so at the back of the field, the drivers might be finding some speed, and the front of the pack might be slowing down just a little bit. The 25 of Rylan Fascinato, he's your points leader, and things are not going well for him. Running last on the track right now. He's gone a lap down to the leaders. And now the 99 of Jaden Chapman also putting him, he'll be a lap down to pretty much, he'll be a lap down to everybody out there once the 1 of Jonathan Schwemmler gets caught up to him here. It's a 2-car race out front though as we check in down the back straightaway. The 92 of Dwayne Horton, the 77 of Jeremy Curtis. These are your 2 drivers out front. Horton working turn 2, the right-hand side of the racetrack here. As we catch up with where he's at. And he's actually going to catch up to that 25 of Rylan Fascinato, who is just not running well tonight.
Yeah, that's a slow 25 of Fascinato. And Curtis goes in on Horton a little here for 8 out of 4. Leaders at Dwayne Horton in that 92, Curtis in the 77. Almost coming up on the 4th place car, Jonathan Schwemmler in that 1. Fascinato still off the pace, slowing up cars as they get to him. I got a battle for 3rd shaping up. 99 is Chapman, followed by the 1 of Schwemmler. And the leaders half a straightaway behind that battle. And Horton's going to have to deal with them before this race is done.
Well, it's going to be done in a hurry here. There's only 8 laps left in the books. And Schwemmler is going to be trying to fight to stay on the lead lap here because the 99 of Horton has shown up. Schwemmler, for his part, pretty much just ran his best lap of the race a couple laps ago. Same with the 99 of Chapman. But the leader has come to town. Schwemmler, I think, was trying to let him by on the inside, actually. A very sportsmanlike thing to do there. The 92 of Dwayne Horton was I think, caught by surprise. But class of the field, you know, we saw the 92 at a crash towards the end, towards the front end of the season. Got the car put back together, has got it out here. It's running good this afternoon.
Two to go this time by for the leader of the 92 of Dwayne Horton. He's kind of distanced himself from the 77 courtesy of some traffic as Jeremy Curtis has lost touch with the leader now. White flag on the speedway. 92 of Dwayne Horton. Second spot is the 77 of Curtis. Third's the 99 of Chapman, followed by Schwemmler and Fascinato. Checkered flag in the air out of turn 4. The 92 of Dwayne Horton will take it from Godridge, Ontario. Curtis will finish second, followed by Chapman, Schwemmler, and Fascinato. And that'll wrap up our late model racing for this Sunday afternoon. And we'll hear momentarily John Helton trackside with our feature race winner, the 92 of Dwayne Horton.
Dwayne Horton down here in victory lane. Winner here in the late model race, sponsored by Huron Taxi Service. It's been a busy season, certainly for the 92, that early season wreck we were talking about. Car put back together and running great tonight. As he gets ready to hop on out. Here it comes out of the car, race fans. Put your hands together for the 92 of Dwayne Horton. Dwayne, congratulations. A successful run tonight in the 92.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'd like to thank my brother Devin for putting these cars together, Gordon Tabitha for letting us race, and McCall for putting such a hot rod together.
All right, race fans, put your hands together one more time for the 92. Dwayne Horton, your winner in the Huron Taxi Service late models. We'll see the hot rods back out here in a moment. That's the Superstock Sportsman, the Bone Stock race. You're not going to want to miss that. Make sure you hang out for that one. That's going to be one to watch. Time for the hot rods. We saw this duel earlier on, and we were chatting a little bit about what the hot rod program is at Grand Bend Speedway. It's been an experiment this year to see what's possible out there, and these drivers have shown us just that, some awesome competition we've seen in the hot rods this year, even though it's just been the pair of them. You only need two for a race. That's what they say. These guys have put on a good one for us, and we've been looking forward to showcasing what the hot rods can do. And Ed Peterson and Chris Lawrence have done a great job of that this year. It's a class that we would hope to grow. And we'll get ready to set them loose here. There's our white flag down the front straightaway as we get set to go.
25 laps of zero distance here. Peterson in the 43, Lawrence in the 50. Here we go.
Green flag set to fly. We mash the gas and we're racing. Peterson and the Richard Petty 43 look-alike. Off to a good start. And Chris Lawrence in the 50 car giving chase. 25 laps is the distance here on this one. Lots of racing yet to go. We'll be seeing the final exhibition from the sportsman program, Superstock Sportsman program, and the Bone Stocks are going to finish off our afternoon in an event that is absolutely not to be missed. And so this is very much, I think, where we left off. The 43 of Pete, when we saw it from their first feature race earlier on tonight. They run the double features for the NASCAR points. Peterson was our winner in race number 1. Chris Lawrence giving good chase, but wasn't quite able to pull anything off in that one. We had a couple shout-outs we wanted to give to that came in to us from our live stream that we wanted to give to. So shout out to the 77 of Jeremy Curtis, that came from Lily Patterson. And George Copeman cheering on Keegan Lamont in the 90 from Port Bruce, Ontario. He must have been pretty excited when Keegan Lamont took home that feature race win back in the 9-horsepower sprinters. Peterson in the 43 continuing to show the way here in the hot rods. We've seen, as far as I'm concerned, Chris Lawrence has been the dominant driver in the hot rods this year, but tonight seems to be the 43 of Peterson out front all day long. And Lawrence actually falling back here a bit. Laps ticking away here in the hot rods. Just 15 laps to go here as Ed Peterson making a torrid pace around the track. With just a handful of races left in the 2025 racing season at Grand Bend Speedway. If you hop on grandbendspeedway.ca, you'll actually see our full schedule. So they've got the karting schedule for what goes on here during the week, but also, of course, the racing schedule for what goes on the weekends. Pay special attention to upcoming championship nights. Saturday, September 13th, we've got championship night for the home track program for the Huron Taxi Service late models, as well as the Dock Stater Property Maintenance Bone Stocks. The Great Lakes Legends Series will also be here that night. It's actually a big card that night because the Ontario Pro Sprints are here, 9-horsepower sprints, mini trucks, junior sprints. That's a tall order that night.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the 43 Peterson is losing a little bit of car or the 50's gotten charged a little bit, but Chris kind of tracking that leader down a little bit here.
Well, yeah, he's really coming to life here, I think, actually, as the laps are winding down. Let's check on timing and scoring and see what's going on here. Yeah, they are. Lawrence running his best lap just a couple laps ago, and the 43 of Peterson really falling off here suddenly.
Yeah, I think Peterson has gotten tight over the last 3 or 4 laps, John. That 43 tends to drift up the track in the corners here.
You know, it's the thing if you're new to racing that you might not realize, right? As these drivers are going around, they're building up heat in the tires. As they build up the heat in the tires, it's going to change essentially the tire pressure. It builds up tire pressure in the tire, and that can make the tire expand. And when it does so, it actually really messes up the setup that the driver has put in the car. They don't run the same circumference around on the right side and the left side. And the idea there is you have the bigger circumference on the right side that lets the car corner better. But what ends up happening is as the race goes on, the car either kind of comes to you or it goes away from you. And in this case, I think it's getting away from him as those tire pressures are changing and the tires are getting heated up. There's kind of a sweet spot you want to hit there where it is consistent throughout, but Some drivers like the short runs, some drivers like the long runs. We've definitely got a long run going here in the hot rods, which is no surprise when you do a one-on-one duel. Now Lawrence is falling back, right? So what's going on?
Hey, the 43's kind of caught the groove again.
Well, you can
Either that
change-
or Ed was trying to cool maybe some tires or something.
You can change the way that you drive, that too, you know, as the race goes on, once you start to get a feel for it. But the laps are running down. This is going to be it here, because it's going to be white flag this time by for the 43 of Ed Peterson.
Checker flag in the air. The 43 of Ed Peterson takes the hot rod, feature number 2, all by the 50 of Chris Lawrence. And Ed will sweep both races here this afternoon, and we're going to hear from Ed Peterson from Lonsborough, Ontario, with John Helton coming up momentarily.
So we'll have Ed Peterson, our winner, 50 of Chris Lawrence, champion in the division. There he comes out of the car, race fans, the 43 of Ed Peterson. Double win, double victory tonight over Chris Lawrence. I guess you showed him how it was done this evening.
Well, I got a little better. I could think I got a little better car than Chris due to the rule differences, but I could tell him what he needs to change, but then it'd be too much competition next year.
Fair enough. Anyone to thank this afternoon?
I'd like to thank all my family and sponsors for the sport throughout the year, but I'd like to dedicate this win to Rudy Held, Garth Postel, Trevor Yock, and Ray Flynn. Those are people I lost that supported me. Trevor and Ray were past competitors in the street stock division at Varney. Rudy built my motor for me here and continuing his legacy, and next door here was his favorite place to be, so to bring him a victory here is kind of special for him too.
Ed Peterson in the 43. Chris Lawrence, you know, it was a small division this year, but you are a NASCAR champion here in the hot rod division.
Yeah, this is big for me. I mean, my first NASCAR championship was at Delaware in 2010. So to be able to kind of say two-time NASCAR is something cool. I think this might be my first Grand Bend championship, so it means a lot to me.
All right, anyone to thank here before we wrap up for our next, because you get back in the car, I guess.
I got to suit back up, but thanks to all the fans for sticking it out and watching the rest of the features. Thanks to Ed for putting on a good show all year long. Thanks to everybody that wears these white official shirts and all the help back in the pits. We made some adjustments. They were wrong. We're going to see if we can limp it through the super stock race, because I don't know if I had enough time to wholesale change it.
Well, good luck in the super stocks. Good luck in the bone stocks, too.
Thank you.
Chris Lawrence in the hot rods here, getting the exhibition program going here, showing us what's possible here. It's been fun to see these hot rods out here this year. Small group, but a fun group. Cars. It's fun. So we'll see the hot rods back out here, or correction, the Superstock Sportsman's out here in just a flash.
Ryan Bright from Petrolia will join Chris Lawrence for our Superstock Sportsman feature race number 2, 25 laps to scheduled distance.
You know, we sort of saw this one play out a little bit earlier on. We'll see, you know, Chris Lawrence, he's all warmed up out there, right? The tires are hot, nice and sticky. 45 is going to be coming at it with the cold tires. And rapid fire to the green flag here down the front straightaway. Let's see what we got. Mash the gas. We're racing with the Superstock Sportsman. And a hot rod joins the party. Whoa, Bright in the 45 kicks it sideways off of turn 2. The 50 of Chris Lawrence, that got some keep up, at least for the moment. Well, we'll see how this shakes out here as we get a couple laps in. It's a 25 lap distance. 45 of Bright. Your leader out front. This kid's racing in the junior program. He gets to race the full-size car here in the Sportsman program. Again, very much a development division at Grand Bend Speedway. Sometimes people watch on the live stream and they go, well, what's going on out there with just a pair of them? And again, we try to throw some things at the wall and see what sticks. And so, you know, some of the things that we've thrown at the wall to see what sticks is this Cobra Cup Double Down loyalty bonus. It was very, very, very effective in the bone stock division, I'm going to say. So when you see the bone stocks come out, those drivers, I think, really figured out fast what the Double Down loyalty bonus was all about. The Cobra Tire Cup program, I think they understood it. It was very clear to them. We've raced bone stocks at Grand Bend for many years, and so it wasn't too surprising to see the bone stock drivers really come out in force for that. When it comes to the Superstock Sportsman and the Hot Rod program, similar type program. It's got the Double Down loyalty bonus on it as well. But I think it was more of a leap for those drivers to wrap their heads around racing that type of car on this track. Now, we've been racing the late models out here for a number of years, and that's been certainly a growing program for us. But for many of the drivers, they sort of need to see it to believe it. And so very much the reason why Grand Bend stuck their neck out on this one to really keep the program going. They really thought about stopping the Superstock and Sportsman program and Hot Rod program early in the season when they weren't getting the count. But we really at Grand Bend, we wanted to make sure that we showed our commitment. So we said we were going to do it, and then we ended up doing it, right? And so for the drivers who were at home and the drivers who supported us, or rather I should say for the drivers who supported us, it really worked out. For the drivers at home, it works out too, because especially through the live streaming program, we're able to hop on here, showcase the Superstocks and Sportsmans. You can see them running around. You can see what's possible. You know, as they look towards 2026 scheduling, it'll be interesting to see what happens with these programs, how the track handles that. Laps ticking away here. Lucky 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 laps to go this time by for the 45 of Ryan Bright. You know, and I was saying to Chris, you know, just I got to say for Ryan Bright, he has supported this program. He's been committed to this program. He's been out to every single race. He's going to be the champion. It's a mathematical certainty, right? And some people would say, well, some people might argue, they say, well, it's not a real championship because there was only one other hot rod out there racing with you. When a racer makes a commitment, they race a track, they complete all of the events. It's an open challenge to anyone else to come and challenge them to try to win that race. Nobody else wanted to challenge the 45 of Bright. And so that alone makes him a champion in my eyes. He completed all the laps, completed all the races, earned the payout that was offered, and he'll come out of that. I said to Chris just during the break there, I said, you know, he might be one of the drivers here in Ontario who actually made money this season racing, certainly at this one track, I would say. I think we could make a compelling argument, but that's the case. Because he had no damage, but no damage all year on the 45. He bought the set of Cobra tires on opening night. He's running the same Cobra tires here at the end of the season. Got the weekly payouts that were coming his way, plus a Double Down loyalty bonus, plus the NASCAR championship money. We estimated that his winnings with the Double Down loyalty bonus would have been around $4,000. And then I'd have to look up what that NASCAR championship was, but I have to see which division number. I sometimes get mixed up which division number at the track the hot rods are, or the sportsmen are, but he'll also get that money as well, so good on him. Bone Stocks up next, sponsored by Dock Stater Property Maintenance. They're going to round out our evening. Only 3 laps to go here for the 45 of Ryan Bright. He'll be seeing the white flag this time by Chris Lawrence. Gets the 2 to go. Ryan Bright gets the white flag, final lap. And here comes your checker flag of 45. Ryan Bright is your winner and your champion.
And congratulations to Ryan Bright out of Petrolia, 2025 champ, coming home second. Chris Lawrence out of London. And we'll hear from our champion with John Houghton coming up trackside momentarily.
And don't move a muscle, because the Bone Stocks, sponsored by Dock Stater Property Maintenance, are up next. And that's gonna be something to see, I tell you. There he comes out of the car. The family's waiting for him. Ryan Bright in the 45. Well, Ryan, we chatted earlier, so we don't have a whole lot else to chat about, but how much fun was it running Sportsman out here today at Grand Bend Speedway?
It was a lot of fun. It's a pretty high horse car on these little tracks, but man, it makes it exciting. And the power coming off the corner, you actually got to drive a lot more than you realize here, and everyone thinks it's a small little bull ring here, and it is, but man, it's fun in a big car.
Who to thank today?
I'd just like to thank Gordon, everyone here at Grand Bend, everyone who came out, the fans, my wife, the kids, my mom who's here. We got Art Cal with us, Brightside Design, Leggett Chevrolet. Who else we got? Elevation Tree Service, and everyone else who supported us.
Ryan Bright in the 45, you're a winner in the Superstock Sportsman. We'll grab a photo here with the family, and then it'll be time for the Bone Stocks, presented by Dock Stater Property Maintenance here at the Brad Clarke Memorial event, sponsored by Action Trailers.
afternoon, our Dock Center Property Maintenance and Bone Stock Division.
I get really excited when the bone stocks come out. I feel like saying it's the main event.
That's because your name's on the 41.
I know it's strange. I don't know who he is. I feel like I've really got a car in the race today. That guy's living my dream, Chris Soares, but I don't know who he is. James,
25 laps to scheduled distance here. Let's run you through your order here. That 41 car, that's James Houghton out of Breslau, Ontario,
it's
will
by
be the pole
Kitchener.
car.
Yeah, it's by Kitchener,
That's
we
right.
figured out.
The 50 is Justin Culver, the 50 BT from Lucan. 07, that's Aidan McNichol from Exeter, Ontario. The 22 is our points leader, Jordan Wilms from Niagara Falls. The 78, Lucas Chapman from Sarnia. 77 is Exeter's Ryan McNichol. The 34, Dan Story from Bill. The 43, it's Jamie Ball from Park Hill. 83, that's Craig Cole from Beachville as well. The 7, Hannah Hamilton. Did we get a name on that 8 car, John?
Stand by. It's Chris Lawrence. It was Chris Lawrence the whole time.
Perfect.
It's actually, I called it right. I was like, who's in the 8? But it's actually a 9. So the 9 coming across the line is Chris Lawrence. He's driving for Gary Trishka. Gary Trishka was a driver in the program here who couldn't make it out today, sent the vehicle to keep up in the Double Down Loyalty Bonus program. So Lawrence driving for Gary Trishka as the white flag flies. Give a cheer to your favorite. Give a wave as they come on by the grandstand because we are going to be going green flag racing. This time by the 41 of James Houghton. Starting from the front row, the 50 BT of Justin Culver up on the high side. Great group of bone stocks out here today at Grand Bend Speedway. So pleased to have you folks joining us this afternoon. The sun is shining and the flag is gonna be green as we come on down the front straightaway. We mash the gas and we're racing with the Dock Stater Property Maintenance bone stocks.
Houghton will grab the lead. Culver to second. Here's Wilms trying to protect that third spot. Will do so. Chapman to the inside of McNichol for that 5th spot. Houghton, of course, winning that first feature with a bump and run in the 3rd corner. Second last corner for the green checkered flag.
Yeah, the heat races were hotly contested. It got him that front starting spot, but you know it's tricky if you use the bump and run like that. You know, it's feature racing time. Using the bump and run is fun when you're in second, but when you're in first place and you used one earlier in the night, you know, things can happen out there pretty quick. We'll put it that way.
Wilms to the inside of Culver for the 2nd spot. Jordan's pretty much drifting between the corners. Now he'll drift too high, and Culver back to the inside.
Yeah, overcooked it there a little bit. Culver got the nose in there. That's side by side for 2nd and 3rd. And you look just behind that, and they're fighting tooth and nail as well at the start-finish line. Jaden Chapman in that group. But it's all 41 of James Houghton out front. Oh, got a spinner through the infield grass. Still green on the racetrack. We'll see if he can't get going. Who's that? That's the 07 of Aidan McNichol. Went for a spin through the infield grass. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought for a moment he might be heading for our little concrete we got down there protecting the light pole. I don't think he was as close as he looked. He looked close from where I was sitting, but I don't think he was actually that close. So they'll get these drivers single file. We're going to set them up. For the restart, they got 5 laps in the books, 20 laps to go. They always go back to the running order at the last full completed green flag lap. That's why you see these drivers changing positions. It was busy out there, though, you know, Chris. We've got a variety drivers with a variety of different speeds out there. You know, the front group obviously very quick, but there's some other drivers out there that haven't quite found that speed yet, and the leader was definitely starting to go to work.
Yeah, it was a good battle between Culver and the 50, who gets the second spot back for the last completed green flag lap. 22 of Wilms, the points leader. Pretty much Jordan drifting through the corners here at the quarter-mile tri-oval. They'll get the call to double up on the backstretch. It'll be Houghton and Culver in row number 1, Wilms and Chapman row number 2, McNichol and Lawrence in row number 3. And John, pretty good to see this amount of cars out here. I remember one of the last few races of 2024 in this division. We had 4 in the feature final. Now we got 11, which is fantastic.
The Cobra Tire Cup has been a great program in the Bone Stocks.
Houghton will bring him to the green here with the 20 to go. Culver on the outside, green flag.
Bone Stocks funneling their way through turns 1 and 2. The 41 of James Houghton continues to control the event. The 22 of Wilms gets down on the inside of the 50 of Justin Culver, side by side for that spot at the start-finish line. Ryan McNichol in the 77 is up to 4th. And then it's the 8, or rather the 9, I should say, of Chris Lawrence, driving for Gary Trishka, running in 5th in that orange machine. The 7 of Hannah Hamilton washes up the track. That's the 34th. Dan Story gets down to the inside there. Picks up a spot, still fighting tooth and nail at the start-finish line here. The 22 of Jordan Wilms out of Niagara Falls, facing off against the 50 of Justin Culver.
Very good battle for that second spot. Wilms has it. Culver and Toll McNichol there as well. Lawrence trying to get there, but it's all Houghton at the front of this field. Leaders will work the high side of Jamie Ball in that 43. Oh, we got the Hamilton car in the infield in turn number 4. We're going to stay green for now. No, we're not. We're going to go caution again in the Bone Stocks. So the 7 of Hannah Hamilton from Thetford will go to the back as an incident car. The 43 of Jamie Ball will go to the back as a lapped vehicle. The rest of the order should be good to go.
When they take the green flag, it'll be 16 laps to go. Biting off this race in bite-sized pieces. The 41 of James Houghton so far has been unstoppable in competition today.
Wilms on the outside, Culver and McNichol, row number 2, Lawrence on the inside of row number 3, along with Chapman. Houghton will lead him through turns 1 and 2. McNichol goes really high in turns 1 and 2, and Lawrence will grab that spot. Chris Lawrence up the 4th. Story trying to follow him through on the inside. Dan Story in that 34 out of Beachville, Ontario. It's Houghton, Wilms, and Culver trying to get away from the rest of the field.
Well, and again, Houghton in the 41 has just been the class of the field so far today, pulling out here once again to the lead that we saw earlier. The 22 of Jordan Wilms hasn't been able to do anything with him because he's just been gone. He did the bump and run earlier in the heat race. No one's been close enough to stick a bumper to him yet. The 8 of Chris Lawrence slides up the groove further on back in the field. The 34 of Dan Story gets down to his inside. That's the 4th place battle that you're seeing take place. Story in the 34, the 77 of Ryan McNichol. And then the 9 of Chris Lawrence driving for Gary Trischka today. We're going to be seeing 10 laps to go this time by. Again, the 41 of James Houghton just on the absolute rails. He is going to see some traffic here ahead of him. Wilms right sideways off of turn 4 in the 22. He's fast, but he's the handling on the car seems somewhat unpredictable. It's definitely got the drift through the turns down, that's for sure, that 22. You see, and that left side tire, the left rear tire, just as Chris was saying, lifts right up off the ground. Car just absolutely loading to the right side as he goes through those turns. Which is not exactly a recipe for stability as they make their way through lap traffic. Six laps to go for the 41 of James Houghton out front. Five laps to go there at the stripe. Time running out for these drivers.
Houghton still your leader, then it's Wilms and Culver your front 3. Stories up to 4th, McNichol in 5th. And Lawrence trying to protect for 6th against Chapman. Leaders inside 5 to go now. Inside 5 laps to go as the leaders in traffic. To the high side of Cole. 2 to go. 2 laps to go for the 41 of James Houghton. May not have to deal with any more traffic before this feature is done. The 07's up next. That's Aiden McNichol. But Houghton has plenty right now with a lap to go. Down the back another time. The 41 coming to Grand Bend Speedway this afternoon and dominating, winning the heat race, and now winning the feature, the 41 of James Houghton. Wilms will finish 2nd, followed by Culver. Then it's the Story, the 77 of Ryan McNichol. Chris Lawrence in the 8, Chapman in the 78. And then the rest of your running order. James Houghton winning his heat race earlier this afternoon. Now we're going to have the Houghton versus Houghton interview to wrap up the afternoon here at Grand Bend Speedway.
And that was our final race of the day. It looks like Mr. Bump and Run from the heat race is going to be our winner. We'll come on down, catch a word with James Houghton in the 41. Popping the seatbelts. Popping the steering wheel. And ultimately gets ready to pop on out of the car. Here comes your winner. Race fans, put your hands together for the 41 of James Houghton. James, congratulations. A successful run for you here in the 41 at Grand Bend Speedway today.
Yeah, I just like to thank the track for putting on an amazing event. We'd never been to Grand Bend before, and always had it on our list of tracks that we'd like to come and check out. We don't normally run weekly anywhere, But what an amazing track. What a super fun group and staff and racers and everything like that. It's been awesome.
Awesome. Who do you want to thank for your car today?
I'd like to thank Houghton Rust Control and Only Force. Like and follow on Facebook as they're putting out lots of really good bone stock content. And then Stripping Technologies, Mishimoto, Unit 2 Fabrication, 2-Speed Motorsports, Pedal Power.
He's walking around.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
All right, race fans, put your hands together for the 41 of James Houghton. He's your winner tonight. And that'll do it for us here at Grand Bend Speedway this afternoon. Thanks so much for coming on out to the track today. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. We hope to see you back here in the coming weeks. Remember, we're here all week during the week. Check grandbendspeedway.ca for the go-karting schedule, and we'll see you at the next exciting event at Grand Bend Speedway.
Thank you, John. Yes, absolutely. Get home safe. Thanks for joining us at Grand Bend Speedway. We continue racing action next Saturday night. Our new itinerary, our new back on display next week. Get home safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you right here at Grand Bend Speedway next Saturday.